is that time. Time for Stiles and Watkins.
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140. Find us on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140.
It's time for Alan Stiles and Chris Watkins.
Yes. On a Tuesday, Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports, taking up to 2 p.m. Not just any Tuesday. The NBA is back. We got LeBron. We got Bronny. Sooner than you thought you'd see them. We got the Timberwolves, the new look Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle. The defending champs, the Celtics, taking on the new look Knicks. And Mikal Bridges' new look broke jump shot. Chris Watkins, how you doing? We've made it, brother.
Yeah,
we made it.
We are here
to the NBA regular season. How you doing?
Good. Can't wait. Excited to tip off today. Hopefully the Lakers can. I don't care if they win or lose or whatever. I just hope that they can tire out the T-Wolves so that the Kings can face them on Thursday, and they'll be a little bit gassed. So definitely, I guess not rooting for the Lakers, but hoping that they can make it a competitive one so that they can at least make it easier for us on Thursday. I think we can definitely use a nice little smooth start to the season, and nothing will make that better than the Lakers helping us out today. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. It's always fun to see the team's ring ceremonies and all that too. Just excited to kind of be back in the flow of things.
Well, I'll tell you this much right now. We can start off the show with the hot take.
Oh,
the Lakers are winning.
Oh, this is a hot take.
They are the Cowboys, and this is exactly what the Cowboys did Sunday Night Football when they beat the Steelers, and that was a game that the Steelers probably should have won. Okay, maybe part of the reason that Justin Fields is not currently the starter, and Russell Wilson did look really good, but this is what they do. Lights are bright. It's time for LeBron to show up and show out. LeBron has enough in the tank to go to that place that we know he can go to a couple times in the season, and then ultimately,
I'm sort of LeBron James,
right.
of the
We'll see him today.
Yep.
We'll see him today. But this is what he does in these primetime matchups, Chris. LeBron, he's a primetime merchant. Okay, but we allow it because of where he's at in his career. We know he's been playing for a very, very long time. But I got the Lakers winning tonight. And as far as the Knicks Celtics goes, I got the Celtics simply because I don't know anything about what the Knicks are going to be. I don't know anything about what the Timberwolves are going to be. Everybody talking about, the defense and they lock down these guys. They're still working these dudes into the fold. That trade was not too long ago. So I think both these games should be pretty darn competitive. I think that the Celtics game might be the one that gets out of hand, but Lakers Timberwolves, I believe, will be a really good game. And I think that the Lakers are going to get it done. Nate behind the glass for us as always, and he wants us to let you know Sam Morrell returns to the Crest for a night of nonstop laughs. And of course, Sacktown Sports wants you in the building. All you have to do is hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. That's at 12:30, and we will get you those pair of tickets to check out Sam Morrell at the Crest Theater in beautiful downtown Sacramento next May, courtesy of Live Nation. For more information, visit sacktownsports.com. And you can already tell this show is going to be NBA heavy, but we do want to tie a bow on the most recent week of NFL football, and it did close out, Chris, last night with two games. If you were listening to Crosstalk, you heard me complain about the ESPN Plus versus ESPN.
Yeah, I was imagine you're the only one.
Yeah, I was very excited for the Bucks-Ravens game, and it started out as a good game, but once Mike Evans went down with that hamstring, Baker was just starting to lose weapons, and then we'll get to the Chris Godwin situation a little bit later in about 10 minutes or so and whether or not he should be playing. But, Chris, the main thing that I took away from this Ravens game is that I may have been wrong about the Lamar Jackson window conversation. You know, I'm on record saying that Lamar missed his window. I think his window was last season where he had an opportunity to get to a Super Bowl and then face off against a team who they had their number in the San Francisco 49ers. They played that terrible game against the Ravens on Christmas. and then they go on to lose in kind of a rough fashion. Zay Flowers with the fumble, things like that. And I'm thinking, if you weren't going to beat the Chiefs this season, then you're never going to beat them. Well, what do the Chiefs do, Chris? They go out and get even less healthy. All right. They lose Rashee Rice. They lose Pacheco. They never got to see Hollywood Brown. And now I'm sitting here thinking, and we'll have a whole list that we go through as far as teams that can win the Super Bowl. But I think I'm getting pulled back in, Chris, the way that these guys are playing football right now. Look, two really bad losses that might ultimately cost the Ravens because they won't get to have the AFC, at least as of right now. It's not going to run through Baltimore. But adding Derrick Henry and what he brings to what Lamar is doing, I think Lamar right in front of our eyes is continuing to improve as a passer. I always thought he was a little bit underrated, but I think he's even improving in that regard. Zay Flowers, we know what he brings. Mark Andrews and Mark Andrews fantasy owners aren't pulling their hair out anymore, but all it did from that Mark Andrews injury is give Isaiah Likely a lot more of an identity within this offense. And then just randomly, when you forget about him, you'll just get a streak to Rashad Bateman for a cool 50, 60 yards. So I know he's got to do it in the playoffs, Chris, but Lamar Jackson and these Baltimore Ravens, I might be getting duped again, but this feels like the year that they could finally get it done.
Yeah, I think the thing about this season is their offense has always been really, really good, but like you said, in the passing game, it's just gone to another level. I'm looking at it. Their last 4 games, they put up 30 points in each one of those games, and they've played the Bills, Bengals, Commanders, and Bucks. Those are 4 very, very legitimate teams, and on top of those 2 teams, like they also played the Chiefs in week 1. I think they've had a really, really tough schedule so far, and the fact that they've looked as good as they have and frankly only have 2 losses and they're both at the beginning of the season and are currently on a 4-game streak or 5-game streak. They're, to me, playing like the best team in football. When they had that big win against the Bills, they looked like that was a statement win. And I think, to lose in the way that they lost to the Chiefs week 1, I think if they were to have that game over again with the way that the Chiefs are just kind of squeaking through games, I think the Ravens would honestly kill them. I mean, Lamar looks so good, and maybe it's a little bit, hey, a guy throws 5 touchdowns, and then the next day you're going to overreact. But they look so good as a passer. I mean, in our quarterback conversation over the summer, the thing that we really pointed to was Lamar and saying, look, it's been way too many years where in the playoffs, you need to open it up in the pass game and it just goes completely silent. The thing that looks different this year is he's passing it to the outside. I know they still get a little bit crafty with how they give the ball to Zay Flowers, but you're right. Like, they're throwing a lot more deep balls to Zay, to Rashad Bateman. I think the fact that Mark Andrews hasn't really gotten involved until these past couple weeks is a sign that Lamar isn't looking towards the middle of the field to the safety blanket throws. He's looking to make plays, and I think the fact that you're right, Derrick Henry adds to this. They showed his numbers last night. He's averaging 6 yards a carry.
Yeah.
That's absolutely insane,
It's
especially
crazy
when you have the mental edge of thinking, oh my God, Derrick Henry is in the backfield, and then he's actually performing how you would think a video game Derrick Henry would perform. They look incredible, and I really don't think that there's a team right now that's playing better and is currently healthy like the Ravens are. And if they can, how many times do we say in the playoffs, it's really not even about who's the best team in the NFL. It's about who's playing well at that moment and who's the most healthy. And right now, as it stands in week 7, for what it's worth, that's the Ravens. But can they continue it, and can they stay healthy throughout the remainder of the year? If they do, yeah, you might be wrong. I think the Super Bowl window might still be very much open for that team.
Yeah, look, we got to see more from the Bills now that they have Amari Cooper. Obviously, we don't need to talk about the Chiefs. We know that they're around. But, you talk about Roquan Smith, Chris, they pick off Baker twice, all right, with Humphreys. It just they just got it going on right now. And again, they did it in Tampa. They didn't even do it in Baltimore. This is Derrick Henry's ranks. NFL rank: rushes first, rushing yards first, rushing TDs first, yards per rush first, rushing for first downs first, longest rush first, scrimmage yards first, scrimmage touchdowns first. Now this
is he back in high school?
That's what it feels like. Now this man is also catching the football.
Yeah.
And look, I fell for it
he got
too,
a passing
Chris.
touchdown,
Yeah.
Or receiving touchdown.
I fell for it too, Chris. As soon as we saw Derrick Henry pop up, because you really didn't watch him that much these last couple of years in Tennessee, and you know the shelf life, not just for running backs, but for a running back like Derrick Henry, because he is so dang big. You saw him against the Chiefs the first couple games, and you're thinking, oh, okay, the Ravens made this move about 2 years too late, and they're getting what's left of Derrick Henry. It's this microwave society, Chris, and I'm guilty of it too. It just took them a little bit to get going. You know what I mean? So I'm going to try to keep that in mind, taking it back to the NBA when we watch the Timberwolves tonight, when we watch the Knicks and the Celtics, some teams that have made moves, some teams that haven't made moves, the Lakers as well, because you sit there and I'm thinking after the first couple games, all right, Derrick Henry doesn't really seem like he's the same guy. And a couple weeks later, 7-8 weeks later, here is where we are. So to me, they definitely have reopened the window, or it was never closed, and I was incorrect. We will go over all the other teams that have a chance to win a Super Bowl as it stands right now. The question is, will the Niners be in that conversation? I'll tell you right. We haven't done the segment yet, but as of right now, I'm not sure. I have no clue, but I do have a clue as to whether or not the Niners should roll into the rest of the season with this wide receiving core. Should they make a trade, and who should they trade for? We will break all of that down. Tony Harvey of the Sacramento Observer, he joins us at 12. If you haven't heard Tony Harvey on our show or any of the shows, it is must-listen radio. It is appointment radio. You don't want to miss what Tony has to say about the upcoming Kings season. We see you from the 209 on the text line asking what we should be concerned about as far as the Kings. Like I said, we're going to tie a bow on the NFL. Then when we hit 12 o'clock, 11:30, 12 o'clock, we're going hard NBA, hard Kings, getting you ready for this NBA season. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Toyota's legendary truck event is on. Hurry in for $2,000 cash back on any 2024 Tundra, or choose a great lease on a new 2024 Tacoma 4x4. Get to your Toyota dealer today, because this truck event will be Toyota. Let's go places. Offer available to TFS buyers with premium rated credit until 11/4/24.
Out on the road, there's just one place when you walk on in, you see a friendly face. It's Big O. Big O Tires.
Now until November 3rd, call into savings and get $80 to $120 instant savings on 4 select in-stock Nexen, Nitto, Toyo, or Hankook tires with installation purchase. Installation charges extra. Required on all 4 tires. Not followed with other offers. Eligibility may vary. Excludes Nexen, Enpris AH5, and Enpris AH8 tires. Disposal fees extra and shop fees extra where permitted. See store for details.
Time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Sacktown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
12 o'clock, Tony Harvey kicks off our Kings talk, and then it's heavy Kings, heavy NBA for the rest of the show. First couple hours, we're tying a bow on this week in the NFL, specifically with the Niners. But Chris, you had something you said you love doing.
Yes.
As I was reading off Derrick Henry's stats that aren't from high school. They are from the NFL, but you have his high school stats.
Yeah, and they sound wrong. What if I told you 4,261 yards, 55 rushing touchdowns, 327 yards per game? That was just his senior season. 4,261 yards in one season, 55 rushing touchdowns in one season, 327 yards per game, 9.22 yards per rush. His whole high school career, 12,124 yards. It's about 3,000 yards a season, 252 yards a game, 8.7 yards per rush. And in 4 years, he had 153 rushing touchdowns. He also, in his senior season, had a 510-yard night, which is still a state record in Florida. In Florida, where they just have, these professional athletes coming out
all the time
by the hundreds.
329 yards per game. And you know what's crazy? So Najee Harris, he went to Antioch High.
That's right.
And my nephew went to Antioch High and played football. So I saw Najee in person.
Yeah.
And it was ridiculous.
It looks
was
like,
a man
it looks
amongst
like
boys.
Pee-wee, right? Yeah.
So, and Najee is a bigger back.
Yeah.
But Derrick Henry is bigger
It's
than
just a
Najee.
big person.
So I'm just trying to imagine
You couldn't tackle him.
what that even looked like in person. I mean, there's probably kids that quit football because of Derrick Henry.
100%.
In Florida.
100%.
They had to leave the state. So I'm not playing with
What do
this
you think
dude.
Nick Saban did when he first put on his tape?
Yeah.
He was just,
How
do we get this kid?
No.
What are we doing? Like, why are you talking? Why are you even showing me this?
Yeah.
Just go get him.
Go get him.
Go get him, bring him in my office, and put a Bama jersey on.
And that's why, we talk about the NIL. We don't think anything got passed over.
Come on.
A little
What are we talking about?
something.
You tell me Derrick Henry, the state leader in Florida,
Right.
overlooked the U, overlooked Florida State, Florida,
Just because
he got too
Bama?
much Bama in him? Come on.
ridiculous stuff.
Insane.
Stuff.
Insane.
Not only was that ridiculous, or that was ridiculous in a good way, but ridiculous in a bad way has been these injuries. And the Bucks really, Chris, as we talk about the Super Bowl conversation, even if they lost yesterday and you get Mike Evans back, I'm just assuming because it seemed to be a hamstring, you could say, hey, Bucks are still in the conversation. It was a close game. They did some things towards the end. That's the only thing I would say on the Ravens. They still find a way to kind of give up those leads. And then the game nearing the end, Chris Godwin goes down, fractures his ankle. He's got to get surgery, probably done for the year. And here is the audio when all of that went down.
Team, and they were trying to score. He'd bring the house on them. Here's Godwin for a first down, and now he's – oh, no. He can't get up.
So, again, Niners are dealing with stuff. I feel like we say this every year, Chris, but the injuries this year, they do seem pretty crazy. Was it last year or 2 seasons ago where it was the quarterbacks? There were a bunch of hurt quarterbacks. It was either last year or 2 years ago. This year, it's
I want to say it was last year. But I could be saying that only because I know Kirk Cousins obviously won.
Right.
It, so.
This year, and Aaron Rodgers. This year, it seems to be the wide receivers. I saw something just in fantasy, and it said, congrats if you drafted a good wide receiver this season, because this is where you've been leading to. Brandon Ayuk as well. Yep. Okay, obviously everybody on the Chiefs.
All the Rams receivers, not that they're done for the year, but I
forgot all about that. I forgot all about that. Puka is having to do TikToks with his significant other. Yeah, he's just on the couch and she's just trying to get him to participate, and he just didn't want to do it. Thank you, Nate. It was last year all of the QB injuries. This year it's all the skill position players. This is from Adam Schefter. And, everybody believes that the NFL is a bit of a brotherhood. So I don't think they're doing this stuff on purpose. But this is from Adam Schefter about an hour ago. The tackle that Chris Godwin was hurt on appears to have all the elements of a hip drop tackle. The play is now under review per sources. And if it is officially determined to be a hip drop tackle, Ravens linebacker Roquan Smith will be subject to a fine. I would ask this question. Everybody, because somebody said that the Zay Flowers tackle was dang near a hip drop tackle. I'm just curious how easy it is, and maybe we need to get a former NFL player on, because the same way they talk about the roughing the passer situation, I don't think Roquan Smith, and I know he's a bad boy, but I don't think anybody's trying to end careers. How easy is it to avoid these hip drop tackles?
Yeah, if I had to guess, I mean, just putting yourself in the situation, like, I mean, how many different, like, they already have a target zone, right? So you can't go high. On some guys, you can't go too low, though I think a lot of the time now they just kind of accept it. But I think it's kind of a last resort thing. Like, I mean, when you're possibly making a tackle to save a touchdown, like, are you really going to think, okay, I got this guy wrapped, but he's not moving. I don't really have my footing. So I think it's natural to just kind of, drop your hip a little bit and force him to the ground. I just feel like it is one of these unavoidable things that in football, especially like with how fast the game is played, I just feel so bad for defenders. Like, they had that moment yesterday. I think they ended up calling it clean, but I think it was Cade Otton had a catch over the middle that he got absolutely decked by. And then immediately Troy and Joe Buck were like, oh, I don't know, that might be illegal. Look at the replay. It's shoulder to shoulder, completely clean. I just say that to say, I think it's so hard to try and on the fly adjust and contort your body to try and have these legal tackles. Not that the hip drop is exactly that, but I just think it's so hard. And when your adrenaline's running, you're not really thinking all the time of, let me have this picture perfect form tackle to get this guy down. A lot of the time it is just fight or flight, and I need to get this guy down or else he's going to score a touchdown, and by any means necessary.
Yeah, and I'm reading all the comments here on the Adam Schefter post, and somebody saying a fine for something that cost a guy his entire season. Pathetic. So I don't know. Are we supposed to start? You know what I mean? Are we supposed to start suspending these guys? Right. And then I click on him. He does social media for DraftKings. Tampa guy with Boston roots, so that he is a Bucs fan. So I don't know what to do with this. Like I said, when I'm watching it, it just looks like these guys are just trying to get a dude down and making a split-second decision. A lot of people seem to it feels like the belief is this is avoidable and that this shouldn't be happening. But I don't know that I would put it in the conversation of dirty, Chris. I don't think so.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the replay of it right now. Like, maybe again, like it's Roquan is on the opposite camera, so it's like from the camera perspective, it's Godwin and then Roquan on the other side of him, so you can't really see a perfect angle of the tackle. But to me, it just looks like he's going low. It doesn't even really look like he's necessarily, I mean, by the letter of the law, he's not dropping his hip or anything. It just kind of looks like to me he's sliding into the tackle. I don't really know, again, how you're supposed to go frame by frame and figure out what intent is, what exactly is a perfect tackle, what's in the right zone. To me, it feels like, I don't know how many tackles you can outlaw, because at some point here it is gonna, I hate to sound like an old crotchety old man, but it is gonna be tag two-hand touch and flag football out here. If they have to stop and think, and we talked about the Patrick Mahomes, him going out of bounds or faking going out of bounds and then getting about 10 more yards. Like, I just think that these guys are in such compromising positions on the defensive side. I don't understand how they're supposed to have just a million thoughts racing through their head as they're trying to make this tackle. It's just crazy, man.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but obviously you can't read intent. All we know is that these guys are just trying to get the player down, and I guess figure it out later. Yeah. And that's essentially what we're seeing. But the question is, the Bucs being down 10 with, what was it, less than a minute left, something like that in the game. Should Chris Godwin have even still been playing? A lot of people are questioning that and what Todd Bowles decided to do. Ryan Clark has a different take on the situation. We'll give you what it is and some Niners updates on the other side. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Kelly Curran in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We are looking at decreasing clouds as we head throughout the day today, and afternoon highs will be topping out in the upper 70s with winds out of the southwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA app.
DC here for Folsom Lake Kia, where they make car shopping easy with a huge selection of new Kia models, low payments, and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, your trusted dealer in Folsom for over 25 years. FolsomLakeKia.com.
When an overwhelmed injury victim calls Ashton or Price, we immediately remove their legal burden and introduce them to the very best medical care in the region. They focus on their health, and we handle all the rest. When they reach the end of their medical journey and are reunited with happiness and hope, we unleash our decades of legal experience to obtain maximum compensation. We are real, local, experienced litigators and snappy dressers, too. Consultation's free, and there's never a fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue. But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Cybersecurity Awareness Month is in full swing, and LifeLock is here to spotlight the threat of phishing, those sneaky scams designed to trick you into revealing your personal information. While staying alert is important, true protection goes beyond just awareness. That's where LifeLock steps in with comprehensive protection. LifeLock doesn't just warn you about suspicious activity. LifeLock monitors your personal info and resolves identity theft issues if they arise. Take control of your security. Start your 30-day free trial at lifelock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sacktown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all four arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
What would it take for a plumbing company to earn your trust? Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And let's face it, plumbing and service companies don't always have the best reputation.
So to earn your trust, the first thing they'd have to do is actually answer the phone when you call with a real live person. Then they'd have to send a plumber when you needed them, day or night, without charging extra for emergency services.
A trustworthy plumber would show up on time, wearing a clean uniform and name badge, and be able to show that they had passed a background check and drug test.
A plumber you could trust would give you a firm quote on the job before starting and clean up after they finish the job.
That's exactly the plumber you'll get when you call Bell Brothers, a plumber you can trust. Call Bell Brothers right now for all your plumbing needs. Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sacktown Sports.
got some Niners updates that we will get to. Spoiler alert, none of them are very good. Some of them aren't as bad as others, but none of them are very good. But was very interested in some of the uproar that we saw from the Bucs having Chris Godwin still in the game. As we talked about, they were making a bit of a push. It was an unlikely situation to get a W, but crazier things have happened. And then Chris Godwin goes down and his season is over. So Ryan Clark was on SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt literally right after it happened. Obviously, Ryan Clark played for years in the NFL, and this is what he had to say about the situation.
Not how the NFL works, right? The NFL, you only have 53 players on your roster. This is not high school. This is not college where you get to pull the entire team, where everybody has a freaking backup. You sign up to go win games. You are paid for what you do each day, every single second, every single minute of every single game. And Todd Bowles never wants that team to think that he gave up on them. And those players and the people in those helmets, the guys with those headsets, never want Todd Bowles to think that they don't believe they have a chance to win. This team was down 34-10. So to have fought back the way they did, to be down only 10 points, you do have a belief and you want to finish, right? You practice, like this ain't baseball where we're in the clubhouse all day and we get to go play games every day. And if you have a sour taste in your mouth on Tuesday, you could fix it on Wednesday. This isn't basketball where you have a road trip where you're playing back-to-backs. Like you work all week for 3 hours. And if all you're asking me to do to make all this money you're going to pay me to play this kid's game for a king's ransom is play for all 60 minutes or play until there's 0 on the clock, that's what I'm going to do. And
so that's what Ryan Clark had to say when he puts it in that context. I mean, it makes sense to me. I don't really have a huge problem with it, Chris. You don't really see the whole starters coming out unless it's a straight up shellacking.
Yeah.
Like when the Detroit Lions whooped on the Cowboys or games like that, when you take out your dudes, you just don't see. A lot of people were likening it, maybe with the NBA on their mind. A lot of people were likening it to the NBA. And when, okay, this game's out of hand, and they really don't even do it in the NBA as much because a 20-point lead isn't what it used to. Now, Chris, you're down 20 going into the fourth. You're still not sitting your guys. I think it's 25 plus and up to where a player or a starter won't. What they'll do is you're up 20, right? At the start of the fourth, your stars won't be in. And then if your bench guys can hold on to the lead, then they never get back in. But if it gets to 15, your starters are going back in. If it stays at 20, maybe halfway through, maybe you see, but every game matters, and even more so in the NFL. So after listening, I didn't necessarily have a problem with it either way, because I think it's just a lot easier to say hindsight is 2020 and he should have been out. But especially after listening to Ryan Clark, I simply thought, I didn't really have that big of a problem with it. It just is bad luck. Or just rough timing.
No, it was just really rough timing. I mean, they didn't take Lamar out until they had the ball with under 2 minutes left, and it was pretty much the Ravens' last drive of the game. Like Lamar was in with, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes to go in that game, if I'm not mistaken. And I kind of thought the same thing. Like it didn't feel out of place. And, the comeback was definitely out of reach or not. I wouldn't say even, it was 10 seconds or so to go, 40 seconds, I think, to go. It was pretty much out of reach, but I didn't think, oh man, like why even have your starters out at that point? Like they had already gotten, like Ryan Clark mentioned, they had already had a really nice comeback. They had recovered an onside kick, which was honestly a perfectly executed onside kick, exactly what you would draw up, had the big bounce about 8 yards down, and then you have one of your own players recover it. It made sense to me, but like you said, I think that this is just a clear case of hindsight being 2020, and I definitely didn't view it the way that Ryan Clark laid it out. I think that's a great insight into the player perspective of things, but even from the fan perspective, I think it didn't seem out of place. And if Chris Godwin doesn't get hurt, I don't think anybody is mentioning, oh man, it was a bit strange that Todd Bowles kept them in the game that long. I just think, exactly, it's hindsight 2020, and it's really unfortunate that Godwin's going to miss the rest of this season, and
Maybe a
who
free
knows?
agent
I mean,
now.
yeah, he might miss some of next season too. I don't know how the recovery for something like that takes, but yeah, it's just super unfortunate.
From Ian Rappaport, Chris Godwin will undergo surgery on his dislocated ankle this week. Sources say he'll see a doctor today to determine the damage and is expected to make a full recovery for 2025 when he'll be a free agent. Godwin was in a career year, 576 yards, receiving yards, second in the NFL. Well, from one injured wide receiver to another, Chris, Brandon Ayuk, it was confirmed yesterday that Brandon Ayuk has a torn ACL and MCL per sources after the MRI. There may also be other damage. His season is over with a long road back for 2025. This is what Coach Kyle Shanahan and San Francisco believed following the game. And real quick, this is exactly why, and I know somebody's going to fire it up on the text line, so let me beat you to it, or on the SAC chat, or they'll call in. We'll open up the phone lines, 916-339-1140. This is why Brandon Ayuk held out. A lot of people are saying, well, maybe if he had been practicing. We just saw it happen with Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin didn't hold out. All these wide receivers and play. This is football, man. So the level of, and we can sit there and argue, oh, well, he wanted this money and it's still life-changing money. No. If somebody's willing to pay you what you think you're worth, which ultimately the Niners did, you got to stand for that. And Brandon Ayuk has that financial stability now that he did not have going into the season. And a lot of people said, this is why players don't like playing on their fifth year, because you don't have that money coming in. And if that had happened, let's not forget when it happened with Dak, different situation because he's the quarterback, but he was worried too. So this is why you don't have to necessarily like it, but that's just the business. You can cut somebody. Mike Williams, we thought he got put on the trade block for missing a catch. Okay. And we know it's been more than that, but you get put on the trade block for missing a catch. That's all fine and good. But if you're a player, you want to make sure that you are taken care of when this is maybe, Chris, the highest that Brandon Ayuk's value is ever going to be in his career.
Oh yeah.
So he was just going. You can hate me if you want as you're driving around doing your job and you're a Niner fan and you don't like it, whatever it is. But this is what I feel like I have to do. And what do you know? He's out for the rest of the season. What I read, Chris, is that the fact that it's ACL and MCL and they're mentioning the other damage means that this is not as clean as a classic torn ACL, and I'll be back in a year. It could be worse than that. So this is a complete nightmare. Look, and it's okay to think, man, that stinks for the Niners because we're not going to have them out there. If you're a fan, that's fine too.
Yeah.
But let's not pretend like Brandon Ayuk's holdout somehow was a part of this, because that's ridiculous.
Or karma or anything like that.
Whatever.
Yeah, you don't need to be saying that.
Because that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay. And it continues to get worse for the Niners. George Kittle sprained foot. Okay, we don't know how serious that is.
I didn't see. Did you guys see that happen? I didn't see that happen.
Yeah, I don't know if Nate did. I did not see the sprained foot. He's shaking his head no. Deebo Samuel pneumonia.
I think that's the kind of thing that happens when it's truly your season from hell.
The only thing.
What?
The only thing that was somewhat of a good sign. This is from Adam Schefter. 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan told reporters that he would be surprised if Christian McCaffrey were able to play Sunday night versus the Cowboys. But he added that San Francisco star running back could be back after the bye on November 10th versus the Buccaneers, who those Buccaneers will look a little bit different now.
Regarding Deebo, too, you guys, he was admitted to the hospital, I believe it was yesterday, with liquid in his lungs.
Yes.
So it wasn't just like a flu or anything. It was bad. And he actually tried to play.
He tried to play.
He was getting on the field. So, season from hell.
I saw somebody say the Niners' healthiest receiver was shot 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Jacob Cowing, but yeah. That's
the point stands.
Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah.
I thought he looked okay.
I thought he looked okay.
He was fast. There's no chemistry there yet, but
not really much separation. But
at first I thought, okay, he got the first catch. I was trying to figure out if it was for lack of a better term, a shtick.
Yeah.
But then towards the end, I think They really just
they needed a receiver.
Needed somebody to catch the football. So and if you want to argue Jay Cowling, hey, they're both going to be they're not going to be fighting for playing time. They're both going to get plenty of targets and plenty of opportunities moving forward. What a complete nightmare for the Niners right now. So there's no timetable on Debo.
Yeah. And do we know about Juwan Jennings too? I mean, I know
Juwan Jennings
he was a late scratch, but
I don't know. Could Debo be ready for the Cowboys? I don't
possibly, but I mean,
do you want him going at this point? Do you want to send him out there?
Well, if they put him on antibiotics too, you guys
We're talking antibiotics.
When you get on antibiotics, I feel horrible.
Yes.
I'm not Debo Samuel.
Yeah, I've never had pneumonia. 916-339-1140. Have you had pneumonia?
They have a bye after this week.
They have so maybe it's the Cowboys stink.
Yeah, just
the Cowboys stink. What's another loss at this point?
Yeah.
Let's just eat the L opposite of Jameis. Eat the L. Get to the other side of the bye. You get McCaffrey back.
Yeah.
You get Debo healthy, and you rock and roll from there.
Yep.
I would not play Debo.
Maybe do a seance or two.
I wouldn't play Juwan Jennings either. I wouldn't play. That's how much. And I
play
like the
Brock.
Niners,
Just play Brock. Just play Josh Dobbs.
Josh Dobbs. You know he can spin it.
Brandon Allen.
The astronaut. Yeah, maybe we can finally see Brandon Allen do something.
Use check kicking.
Why not?
Yeah,
just an emergency game.
Jacob Cowing. Now where's Danny?
That's actually chestnut
Where's Danny
checkers.
Gray when you need him?
Because if you beat the Cowboys with that team, it's like, we own you. And then if you lose, it's like, guys, we weren't even
George
trying.
Kittle sprained foot. Don't play him either.
Why?
Don't play him either. You want to mess around and
get Cam Latu out there.
Yeah,
come on.
Alabama's finest. Come on. I just eat it. Eat the L and move forward. Well, these teams are hoping to eat W's. The NFL teams that are still in the mix to win a Super Bowl. We list them off and we try to figure out who should still be there at this point in the season. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
Wendy's has any size soft drinks for just $1. Yeah, any size, anytime. Like $1 Coke, $1 Sprite, or even $1.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Febreze. So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat? I don't know. Why? Peer pressure. Oh, good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat. Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Model year end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Jeff Lynn's ELO.
Mr. Blue Sky, tell us why.
Live in concert in Sacramento. The Over and Out Tour. Jeff Lynn's ELO. The final tour. All the hits. Live at Golden One Center, October 23rd. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Sacktown Sports. Check us out on YouTube. Search Sacktown Sports and subscribe.
$11:00. Bleacher Report predicts the first round of the NBA playoffs. We haven't even tipped off yet. They're doing an exercise. They predict the first round of the NBA playoffs. Where will the Kings land? Chris Watkins has not seen this, I don't believe. And I think when you hear it, you might be a little bit upset, but you'll be hopeful. We will explain in 15 minutes. So don't move a muscle. From the 916, we asked the question, have you had pneumonia before? Because we were just curious, as Deebo Samuel being diagnosed with pneumonia, went to the hospital, liquid in his lungs. From the 916, I had pneumonia a few years back. The best way I could describe it was it made my breathing feel like I was 30 years older. I was walking around Walmart when it would just hit me. I feel like it would come apart like a bunch of Legos.
Man,
it was a chore just to walk around and do groceries. When I had pneumonia, I couldn't imagine running, sprinting, jumping, or getting hit. Also says it made them feel like a 70-something-year-old man. That is from the 916. Yeah, there's no way Deebo should be playing this.
This guy sounds like a poet. Or
yeah,
a
I was like, that is a
beautiful.
very great description.
Thank you, 916. Yeah. And to close it out, and we're just going to assume it took you longer than a week to get over at 916. But yeah, if you could let us know how
you slept
how
off,
long,
you know?
yeah, how long that took. Yeah, but I don't see him. There's no reason to play him. No. If you're getting McCaffrey back after the bye, look, the Lions, I know they won last weekend, but they're missing Aiden Hutchinson. What are they going to be? Green Bay Packers, I still think that, first of all, that division's going to beat itself up. Green Bay Packers, I still think Jordan Love is too much of a gunslinger. He's going to throw them into some wins, and he's going to throw them into some losses, okay? Your Vikings, Sam Darnold is eventually going to Sam Darnold. That's just what it is. I'm high on the Vikings, but that whole division, they're going to mess each other up. If you are the Bucks, who we were starting to believe in the Bucks, we said last night was a huge game for them. Well, now they have no receivers. So the Bucks, to me, have now left the chat. So if you are the Niners, you still got hope. Your division, even though the Cardinals are 3-4 now, and they look like they're trying to make some moves, but nobody believes that they'll do it when it actually matters. Kyler is normally good before the weather changes. So if you're the Niners, there is reason to be hopeful. Right, it's unfortunate that it's due to injuries, but the Niners are dealing with injuries too, and we have a report that we're going to get to a little bit later. There is a name from the NFC West that the Chiefs are targeting, a wide receiver. Oh boy, it's not good. If you're a Niner fan, it's not good. So we're going to get into that later in the show as well. But right now, Chris, as we talk about the teams that are still in the mix to win the Super Bowl, This is the list I have, Chris, and you tell me if I'm missing anyone.
Okay.
Or if someone should be removed. Okay. Ravens, Chiefs, Bills, Lions, Vikings.
We're saying Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. Bucks. I have a question mark next to the Bucks because of Godwin, and we don't know what's going on with Mike Evans. Texans, Packers. You could put a question mark next to the Eagles, but I have the Eagles, and I have the Niners with no question mark for now.
I personally, emphasis on personally, believe that the Bucks, especially after last night, are pretty done. I think it's going to be tough with Mike Evans dealing with the hamstring. Those things don't go away even when you come back. They have a really, really bad tendency to flare up, especially later on in the season. Godwin, he seems like he's out for the season. I don't think the Vikings can win the Super Bowl this year. I really don't.
Yeah.
Eagles, I don't believe it, but I think that there's a chance.
The Vikings can, Chris. Think about the Giants with Eli Manning. Those teams are way worse.
I am not protecting myself
He
at
is
all.
protecting himself.
Guys, watch the Vikings play offense.
I know.
Watch the Vikings play offense.
He's spinning that thing, Chris.
He's not. He's spinning it to the other team, and he's fumbling constantly.
He does fumble.
I
but
say that
he's spinning it.
Okay.
He's throwing really. He's played so poorly these past 2 to 3 weeks. It's not funny.
If they have a 3% chance to win the Super Bowl, I think they need to be in the conversation, and they do.
So now we're doing
right.
It's just a feeling. I don't want to put a number on it.
Okay. All right. Sorry,
And
I got
to
a little
me-
analytical back here.
Yeah, no. Come on.
Made up numbers though.
Verlon, where's the nerd drop? Go nerd yourself, Nate.
Nerd yourself.
I'll nerd myself back here.
So, Chris, sorry.
No
it's
nerding
2-1. So Vikings stay.
They stay for now, dude. They're 5-1. You got to have them in for now. It's too early. I know it. I know.
We are not. I just said Super Bowl. I did not say they can't be a playoff team. I didn't say they couldn't make noise in the playoffs. I just don't think that they can win a Super Bowl.
If you get in,
this
and
team
you
has
run.
not won a Super Bowl ever.
Where's
Period.
the caller that
And
always says
guarantee
skull?
you,
Come get your boy.
I guarantee they
Get
will
your
say
boy.
the same exact thing. It's just. Look, the Case Keenum season, it was fun. It was great. We had the Minneapolis Miracle. I was under no illusion we were going to win the Super Bowl with Case Keenum as your quarterback.
But Chris, we have to keep him in here for now.
That's fine. And that's why I said personally, I would say the Vikings shouldn't win the Super Bowl.
Right. Okay. Am I missing anyone? Is there anyone you would add?
You had the Packers in there. I think that they have just as good of a chance as the Vikings.
If you're talking about removing the Vikings, then I got to remove the Eagles.
I think so. I mean, yeah,
Okay.
the Eagles, the Bucks, and the Vikings were the three that I would consider moving out of there. And the Niners too, but I think there is. I think the Niners at least have hope that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Here
Niners,
with
Nate.
McCaffrey.
Unfortunately, I do have hope. I should just give up and just hide in a hole. And I probably would do that if this wasn't my job. I
believe you.
Yeah. And I have to have hope.
Niners
I've
stay.
just seen it before. So it's.
Do you have the Bengals on that list?
I do not.
I think the Bengals could.
Their defense is just. Yeah. Joe Burrow is so good.
So
Jamar
good.
Chase is so
Ridiculously
good.
That's the only
They
team
got-
that I would
yeah.
consider maybe adding. But besides that, I mean, I don't believe in the Jets. I'm trying to think of some of the teams on the fringe.
Steelers.
In my opinion,
the
Bengals and the Niners, these are the equivalent AFC, NFC. Those are the two wild card teams. If they get in, no team,
Nobody.
any seed will want them to come visit them.
No.
So that-
no one will.
That's what we're doing. The dark horse thing.
Sure.
I mean, it's a fact.
Why are you saying it like
Yeah.
that? Why are you?
Because the Bengals, to me, I just want to see them win a little bit more before I even have a dark horse.
The problem,
I mean, they're close.
Offensively, they're right there. I mean,
No
they're
Joe Mixon.
great. Joe Burrow's so good.
They do not
I
run
like
the
Chase
football.
Brown.
No Samaje P. Ryan.
No P. Ryan.
No,
but they got
he's
Chase
in
Brown and
Kansas
Zach
City.
Moss.
Yeah, tearing up the Niners. With
Both of those
Kareem
guys
Hunt,
have been.
which I was
Especially
right about
Chase
the
Brown.
prop talk.
Don't sleep on Chase Brown. He's been better these past couple weeks.
I got another team here,
The Giants.
and I know you're not. You're probably going to say no, but I'm going to say them anyway.
Dallas.
Washington.
Oh,
I don't believe in them like that, but Yeah, they can. I mean, they're absolutely destroying people again. They put up 40 with Marcus Mariota at quarterback.
Two touchdowns.
They'll hit a wall.
You know, that tells you that it's not just a Jaden Daniels thing either. It is like, no, that team is legitimate. For sure.
You know what I was thinking when Marcus Mariota did his thing? The first thing I thought, and I don't mean this disrespectfully at all, was that what do they keep saying about the Commanders' offense? It's college. Marcus Mariota felt right at home. He just never could get out of that kind of college realm as far as the quarterbacking.
It's such a crazy argument because it works too. I just don't understand.
But that's why I want to see it next season. It's literally giving me flashbacks from RG3. Literally. These guys come in the league. There's no real tape on them yet. They ball out. What happens next season? We're seeing it. Look, this team keeps winning the Texans.
No real professional tape. Right. You mean, okay.
CJ Stroud does not look the same as he did last season.
Sure, and sophomore slump I think is a real thing too, but
that's just tape
for that reason.
That's just tape.
Yeah, for that. Yeah.
That's just tape work.
Tape work, baby.
Drill work.
They're figuring out Brock Purdy finally.
Well,
man.
That's why he's throwing the double coverage interceptions in the end zone when you have a chance to win the game.
Don't worry, we have some Brock Purdy thoughts that we will break down, and we also have Baldinger breaking down what he thinks Brock Purdy should be doing at this point in time, even with the missing weapons. But when we return, Bleacher Report predicts the first round of the NBA playoffs. Where do the Kings fall? We're here, Chris. Not around the corner, not in a couple weeks. I'm here, and we're here. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Kevin Herter plays here.
It's Herter. He's been hot. He fires. He's still hot. Kevin Herter from downtown has a 15-point first quarter.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting their focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
What sets Ashton & Price apart from other injury law firms? I'll tell you. From beginning to end, all important legal decisions are made directly between our clients and their experienced local attorney. A gate agent flying the plane, the receptionist performing surgery, not a chance. There's simply no substitute for the unique power of the direct attorney-client relationship offered by Ashton & Price. And there's never a fee until we win, and between you and me, we win a lot.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
The shot clock is ticking, and your home team is driving up the court. But don't miss your chance to score big at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Save on a new Accord, HR-V, Ridgeline, or the all-new Prologue before the buzzer sounds on year-end deals. Don't get benched by high prices. Slam dunk your savings today.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. Sold on report.
O'Reilly.
Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts in West Sacramento and Town Center Plaza next to Nugget Markets now through October 29th for the Customer Appreciation Day sale. You'll get 2 times over rewards points on select purchases. Plus, pick up 5 quarts of any Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil and receive a $10 gift card after rebate. And buy one, get one free Coca-Cola products at your Town Center Plaza, O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
Get ready for an incredible night as the iconic Little River Band hits the stage.
at the Nugget Casino Resort Grand Ballroom. Join us Saturday, November 16th at the Nugget Grand Ballroom for an unforgettable concert experience. You'll hear all your favorites in this must-see event of classic rock. The Little River Band live at the Nugget Casino Resort Grand Ballroom. For tickets and info, visit nuggetcasinoresort.com.
Your water heater. Old, rusty, forgotten. We hardly ever even think about them until there's no hot water. Right now, get incredible rebates up to $3,000 off and financing available for as little as $40 a month. Leave it to Bonnie to crank up the heat.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. Sacktown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
This is from Chris the Mom. I had pneumonia in June. I have recovered, but am having to use oxygen right now. In fact, I really struggled at the preseason game walking up the stairs to the concourse last week.
Jeez.
I don't know how long it's going to take to be completely well. We're sorry to hear that.
Very.
Chris the Mom, we know you were one of our loyal listeners, not just to Stiles Watkins, but to all the shows here at the station. So we are wishing you a safe and quick recovery. But we had asked that question because Deebo Samuel has come down with pneumonia, liquid in his lungs. He, I believe, is still at the hospital. He was at the hospital as of yesterday. And yeah, the more of these texts, this is the second text now that's come in about having pneumonia. I just don't see Deebo Samuel playing this weekend.
No. I mean, no.
I'm going to do like this. I don't think he should.
I don't think he should. Right. I really hope he does. I mean, it is true that even the fact that he tried to play is, it's just crazy. Like, I mean, the more we're hearing about, the reality of people dealing with this, like, it's just crazy that he even gave it a go. And I would imagine, if he had to end up checking in the hospital, maybe he even pushed it too far. Like maybe he wasn't feeling 100%, to put it lightly. And then he goes out there, tries to do full warm-ups. And, sometimes, when you're sick and you try and push through it in any sickness, and especially not one this serious even, but in any sickness, you can end up making it 2 times worse. And I do wonder if maybe him having all that padding on and everything and doing sprints and doing cuts and jumping like that first texter said, I wonder if he ended up making it worse for himself and maybe did put himself out for more than 1 week. I mean, if Chris the Mom is out here saying she even still is dealing with the ramifications of it, like I wonder if maybe this isn't even a 1 week thing, if it's not a 2 week thing, if maybe this is something that we're going to have to monitor, because at some point, maybe it is just, hey, not only is he dealing with the sickness, but he also has to get back into football shape and get his breathing to a certain level. And that could end up going from a 2 week or a 1 week to a whole month. And with where the Niners stand right now, it's just another massive blow.
Yeah, this is just somebody said it's not as bad as 2020, but it's getting close. Every day it's getting closer. Sam Morrell returns to the Crest for a night of nonstop laughs. And of course, Sacktown Sports wants you in the building at 12:30. Hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline, 916-339-1140. Score that pair of tickets and check out Sam Morrell at Crest Theater in beautiful downtown Sacramento next May, courtesy of Live Nation. For more information, visit sacktownsports.com. Okay, Chris, I have Bleacher Report's predictions on the NBA playoffs. All right, so do you want to try to guess? We'll go quick through the Eastern Conference, and then we'll have some more fun. I'll have you guess the Western Conference. Okay. We'll just react to the Eastern Conference. So Eastern Conference, they have some of the same names you've seen. Number 1, the Boston Celtics taking on the Miami Heat.
Okay.
They have the Knicks as a 2 seed taking on your Indiana Pacers.
Okay.
They have the Cleveland Cavaliers taking on
a 3 seed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, the problem is I think the teams that you're thinking of, they're all old. So Philadelphia 76ers already going to be without Paul George and Joel Embiid. The season hasn't even started yet. These guys are already missing games. So they have Cleveland Cavaliers a 3 seed taking on the Philadelphia 76ers as a 6 seed. Orlando Magic continuing to make their run as a 4 seed, taking on the old geezers in Milwaukee as a 5 seed. So that's the setup they have on the East. And I would say the only thing I think they might be sleeping on the Magic a little bit, and maybe I'm higher on the Magic than the Cavs. But yeah, the Sixers, to me, they're going to try to do what the Lakers did a couple years ago. They're not going to be an 8 seed or a 9 seed, but they're going to be a 6, literally what they tried to do last season and didn't do it. They're just going to try to be healthy for the playoffs. That's it.
Yeah, I think the Bucks could actually be really good if they can stay healthy. That's a massive, massive, massive if, as we already read yesterday. Chris Middleton's going to miss some time. I think that there's a chance that the Bucks had, as we describe as the Niners having the year from hell, that the Bucks last year kind of had a little bit of that too. I just think that team has been a 1 or a 2 seed perennially in the East, and I would be skeptical to say that some of those younger teams, everybody always thinks that the young teams, the young exciting teams are going to make a leap a year too early. And it feels like that's possibly the case with the team. And I know the Magic and the Cavs have been scrapping around for a couple of years here in the Eastern Conference playoffs. But I feel like the Bucks still, if healthy, I would have them as a top 3 seed. But besides that, I think the spirit of what they laid out there is probably how I feel too.
Let's get to the Western Conference now, and I'm going to have you guess them. Okay. And you're normally pretty good at this stuff. I didn't mean to jinx you right there by saying that.
No, you're good.
But who do they have? Bleacher Report. This is from Greg Swartz, by the way, writer from Bleacher Report. Who do they have as the 1v8 matchup?
OKC versus, I want to say the Warriors. I'll say the Warriors.
What was your other guess?
There's a chance that Bleacher Report would have the Kings as there. Let's go, or Pelicans. I would say Warriors or Pelicans.
Lakers.
Yes. Okay. I was figuring, I should have guessed that they would have them sneak in. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it was either, that's why I thought you were either going to go Warriors or Lakers. Yeah. Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Los Angeles Lakers. Next, who do they have for the 2v7 matchup?
I would say the 2 seed. This is Bleacher Report. I'm thinking clicks. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking what's going to get clicks here. I'm going to say Suns Warriors 2-7. Suns 2, Warriors 7.
You are right on one of the teams, but not where they're at. You want another guess?
What? Well, I really hope they don't have the Warriors as a 2 seed. That's insane. I don't know which one's crazier.
Go more basic.
I will say the Suns against the 2-seeded.
Don't overthink it.
Mavericks.
Timberwolves.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Timberwolves a 2 seed taking on. Yeah, and I think it was ESPN where they dropped after the.
They got the Suns as a 7 seed.
Yes, Suns as a 7 seed.
Suns in the play-in tournament. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's quite a bold prediction. There's a lot of people who think the Suns are going to be a 1 seed. I was they're
high on the Suns.
I was talking with Frankie about it yesterday, and now I'll throw it back to you. How many games do you think Kevin Durant? We might have read this on the show the other day. Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker. How many games did they play together?
Wasn't it something like 18?
41.
Okay.
They played 41 on the nose. They played literally half of the games exactly last season. They missed the first 20 games of the season together where they just couldn't fit. I think Bradley Beal was out for most of it, but there would be random nights where it would be Beal and Booker or Beal and Durant, but not one of the other. I think that leads, you can read that one of 2 ways. You can either say, okay, they only played 41 games. So what makes you think that they're going to play 82 next season? Or you can read it as they only played 41 games. Imagine what happens if they play 64. And they were already a 6 seed last year or a 5 seed last year. How good would they be if they just had those guys for longer? So clearly Bleacher Report is reading it as what are the, they only played 41 games together. What are the odds that they increase that?
And that's how I would look at it. And I
think
Tyus
either
Jones.
way makes sense to me.
I'm fine with the Suns being better, but I just can't see them better than a 4 seed.
I think we've said it before about teams. I can't remember which ones, but they, to me, feel like an all or nothing team where they're either going to be a top 3 seed or they're going to be like a play-in team.
Right.
Like there's not really an in-between world that I see for them. I think they're either going to be really good or it's just going to be a struggle for them all year and they're scrapping and clawing.
The only reason why they might ball out is it does kind of feel like it for Kevin Durant as far as his, all 3 of them, right? The 3 geezers, Steph, KD, and LeBron. I mean, I think, I think all 3 of them, and really KD's the only one in a really good position to make a move, but the other 2 have won more in their career. Anyway.
I'm watching out for Olympic fatigue this season too. I think that there's going to be some guys that at the end of the season get real tired because they didn't have any summer vacay.
Yeah, that's true too. Okay.
They got 2 Olympians on their team.
3v6
okay.
matchup.
Now here's the question of if I think the Kings are going to.
Now here's the
Bleacher Report either has them as 6 or they can't decide and just bailed out and put them at 4-5. I'll say that they put them at 4-5 because that's easiest. I will say this is Dallas versus New Orleans. I
want to give it another go.
Yeah. Okay.
Denver's
I guess
wrong.
I got neither team right. That's
Denver.
crazy.
Denver's
at
in
3, right?
Denver's
and,
3.
Well, if it's not New Orleans, that leaves Sacramento as a potential. Memphis. We're doing Memphis because everybody's high on Memphis.
Go with your gut.
Wow, Sacramento.
Yeah, they're high on Memphis, higher than Sacramento.
Okay, so Kings are the 6th seed.
Yes, Denver Nuggets taking
Yikes.
on the Sacramento Kings. We'll get back to that, but let's finish it out. 4v5 matchup.
I mean, obviously Memphis, you said it.
Yeah, so this is Memphis Golden State. They don't believe in the Warriors?
Warriors are not in.
Memphis at 5.
Let's go! My goodness. Wow, the message has gotten out.
Memphis is in there, but neither
like
of
the
you
Beacons.
have given the matchup.
This is Memphis against Dallas.
Who's who?
Doesn't really matter. We'll say Memphis is the 5 seed.
You got it.
Yeah, there we go.
You got it. Dallas Mavericks.
Ding dong, the witch is dead.
As a 4 seed taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. Here's the write-up, Chris. The Denver Nuggets aren't going to repeat their 57-win mark a year ago, although this is still a championship caliber team that should finish in the top 3 spots in the West. Simply trotting out Nikola Jokic and a solid high school team would probably still be enough to secure 50 victories.
Okay.
And the addition of Dario Saric will help Denver survive.
Get out of here.
The non-Jokic minutes. Shooting is a real concern, however, as the Nuggets replaced Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Reggie Jackson with Russell Westbrook. Denver already ranked 25th in made threes last season and will need players like Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray to hoist up even more. At the end of the day,
say less.
Our trust in Jokic keeps the Nuggets ranked this high. The Sacramento Kings missed the playoffs last year, although the return of Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter from injuries, plus the addition of DeMar DeRozan, should allow them to get back to the postseason. The Kings defense jumped from 24th in 2022-2023 to 14th last season. There's no reason why this offense shouldn't be among the league's elite with so many weapons at its disposal. Assuming Keon Ellis is named the starting shooting guard, this bench will feature Monk, Huerter, Devin Carter when he returns from surgery, Trey Lyles, Alex Len, and Jordan McLaughlin, making Sacramento plenty deep as well.
You would think that one of those write-ups is for the 3 seed,
That's right.
and then the other one that's just blindly believing that somebody's going to carry them.
Yeah,
it would be the 6 seed.
You
but
would.
Okay, for sure. I think that is telling. I think that there's especially, again, we can't forget this is clicks. This is national media. I think the big part of that, they kind of are telling on themselves. I think they don't even know it because they don't know how to bring it out of themselves to vocalize it. But I do think that a lot of people want to be higher on the Kings, but there is just this big old they are the Kings thing that's getting in the way of them fully embracing them, and they don't want to be on Cold Takes Exposed. That's really what it is. They don't want to
be a 4 seed.
They 100, especially with that write up. Like you should definitely feel like this team should be good, and if they aren't, it's not on you, the writer. It's on the Kings for not playing well. I think a lot of people are just afraid to say what they see. And, they are afraid to get made fun of. They don't want Laker fans and Warrior fans saying, oh, how dare you put the Kings? You don't have us in the playoffs when you have the Kings as a 3 seed.
Right. And if they're wrong on the Nuggets, they can still say, hey, that's a championship team.
Yep.
championship
Yep, 100%.
DNA. So they're always going to get the benefit of doubt, and nobody's going to say otherwise. On the other side, should the Niners make a trade? If so, for who? And there is a wide receiver in the NFC West available that the Chiefs have their eye on. This is not good, people. This is not good. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Model year-end pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the model year-end event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sacktown Sports.
Should the Niners make a trade? Well, if they're not going to do it, somebody else will. And the word on the street is that the Kansas City Chiefs have made calls to the Los Angeles Rams for Cooper Kupp. We know Cooper Kupp, what he can do when he's healthy. We know that he can catch the football at a ridiculous rate, and that's coming from, Matthew Stafford is no slouch, but imagining him with Patrick Mahomes and his ability to extend plays, both of them, really, he's a Triple Crown winner a couple years ago. Cooper Kupp could be on the move. Here is Diana Rossini on the Dan Le Batard show discussing the situation.
Cooper Kupp, Kansas City Chiefs. Is there a chance?
If the Rams are willing to take on the salary I heard that they're willing to do, so they are definitely open to trading Cooper Kupp. So we'll see if they'll be able to get a deal done. I just don't think Kansas City has even enough money, even if the Rams were to take on some of that salary. That's been the problem and the reason why they haven't been able to go after a Devontae Adams, an Amari Cooper, like we've seen other teams be aggressive with.
Well, the obvious thing here is the same way the Chiefs couldn't get Devontae Adams because of that relationship and lack thereof, that rivalry. There's no way the Niners, even if they are looking to add a receiver, there's no way the Rams even pick up the Niners.
No.
About Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, there's no way. Like we were talking about, like you said, I mean, with Devontae Adams and the Chiefs, there was, it felt like there was maybe a 0.5% chance that could happen. It feels like there's absolute, and a big part of the reason why it was even maybe slightly open for the Devontae Adams thing is just the Raiders weren't very good. And so it's like, that rivalry maybe isn't brewing as hot as what it might be, but Rams Niners, even though the Rams aren't good this season, there is a lot of bad blood between those two teams and, those two coaches too. I think McVay would probably have an aneurysm if he heard that they gave Cooper Kupp to Kyle Shanahan. That feels like something that just doesn't sound like something you should do if you're an opposing team. And I'm looking at the odds right now via Bovada for Cooper Kupp's next team, plus 200, the Chiefs. Plus 300, the team that's been involved in every receiver talk, the Steelers. Plus 600, the Giants. Plus 800, the Pats. Plus 1,200, the Titans. And plus 1,600, the Colts. Can I just say, if he doesn't go to the Chiefs, I don't want him going to any of those teams. They're going to waste him completely.
Well, I know it's only been one game, but look, man, I know the Jets aren't that good, but their defense has been pretty good. I need to see more, but look, I know that Russ gets a bad rap and everybody calls him corny, and he's got Subway sandwich commercials that never got released because they were so bad. We get all that, but I mean, it's possible, Chris, that maybe the Steelers saw something with him, and if he plays well these next couple games here, I could more so understand why they were going after Ayuk and why they think that they found something. Their next game, and look, their next game is against the Giants. This is why the Bengals, your guys' favorite team, the Bengals, you spent your time messing around, losing to the Patriots and teams you had no business losing to. The Ravens lose to the dang Raiders. All right. And now you got a Steelers team this is who the Steelers have coming up. They get the Giants. That should be a W. Okay. And Russ could look good again there. Then they have the Commanders, which right now, Jaden Daniels is week to week. Maybe he plays in that game. What if they win with Mariota next week? I don't know who they have. What if they win next week if they don't have a bye and they decide to just rest Jaden Daniels? He's their franchise. After that, it gets tougher. You got to take on the Ravens. So, okay, Ravens can get a game back there, or, I think at that point, the Steelers would have 3 losses. But then they get the Browns. You got to deal with the Bengals. After that, you get the Browns again, the Eagles, and then they do finish with Ravens, Chiefs, Steelers. So it's actually kind of tough for the Steelers. So you know what? I'll just change my argument. As I like to move the goalposts, they need a receiver if they want to win some of these games. So yeah, it makes sense to me, Chris. That's not to say that you have to have a belief in Russell Wilson, but I understand why the Steelers want to make that move because they seem to have a high belief in Russell Wilson.
I just think the problem is Cooper Kupp deserves to have like an actual offensive mastermind using him. I think the thing that Sean McVay really did that kind of revolutionized the position, I'll say, is that he moved Cooper Kupp around all over the place. And it's something that Kevin O'Connell has talked about with Justin Jefferson. He's not just standing outside as the X or the Y. He comes into the slot. You get him in motion, and you just really put him wherever you want. I just am not an Arthur Smith guy at all. I mean, he's pretty much made his chops in the play action game, and I don't see him getting super creative with a guy like Cooper Kupp. And then also just when you're trading for a weapon like that in the middle of the season, I think it's already tough enough to try and integrate a piece like that, especially in that way. I just feel like I would like him to go to a crazy offense, frankly. I mean, I don't want him just kind of being a version of Wan'Dale Robinson in New York, where he's getting, I think Wan'Dale Robinson leads the NFL in catches, but he's something like 40th in yards. And that's what I kind of see Cooper Kupp being if he goes to one of these offenses that just doesn't have the spark. I think the Steelers are probably the best offense of those teams that I listed. It's the Chiefs, Steelers, Giants, Patriots, Titans, and Colts. Steelers are definitely the best non-Chiefs offense in that group, but even then, I just don't necessarily see them really using the passing game how I would want Cooper Kupp to be utilized. I want him going to, if it's not the Chiefs, I mean, there's not many teams out there that are really still looking for receivers, but I feel like, again, I would just like him in a more diverse role.
I was not familiar with this Russell Wilson Subway ad. Chris, were you?
I know he had some. I wasn't aware that he had some stripped.
It's absolutely horrific.
They never made it. Yeah.
Hey, you want to split the Subway sandwich? It is my signature sandwich.
The Danger
It's Danger Witch.
Oh.
And it's dangerously good. Be careful, though. It's spicy. You ever done anything dangerous?
Yeah. Anyways, that is great. It's longer than that.
You never saw that? There's two. There's a couple. I think there's 2 of them.
It's spicy.
No, I did not see that.
Ever do anything dangerous?
Thanks for educating me on that. That is horrible.
You ever do anything dangerous? I have.
No, he hasn't.
Russell Wilson.
Can't believe you guys never saw those.
I walked outside barefoot one time.
Yeah, they never saw the light of day. But then they did. They should have just ran them.
They should have. I mean, yeah, especially in today's day and age, it feels like bad advertisements are it's just like any publicity.
They thought
is
it was
publicity.
too
It's
bad.
like
It was
if it's
too bad.
cringe, like that's almost just as good as anything else. Like, people will make, the Talk Tua podcast is the number 3 podcast in the world right now. Russ should have just let it fly. Let Russ cook, man. Just let him cook.
That's
all he's ever wanted to do.
Seriously. All right. NFL Blitz coming up. we get through everything that happened in this past week in the NFL. Stiles and Watkins, Sacramento Sports.
Kevin Herter plays here.
It's Herter. He's been hot. He fires. He's still hot. Kevin Herter from downtown has a 15-point first quarter.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Kelly Curran in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We are looking at decreasing clouds as we head throughout the day today, and afternoon highs will be topping out in the upper 70s with winds out of the southwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA app.
DC here, and if you've been thinking about a new car, you gotta see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia. You can always count on low payments and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Kings basketball is back in action. The Kings have tipped off their 40th season in Sacramento, and it's sure to be an exciting one. Get your tickets now to see De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, new addition DeMar DeRozan, and all of your Sacramento Kings take the court at Golden One Center. Upcoming matchups include the Trailblazers on October 28th, the Raptors on November 6th, and the Clippers on November 8th. Don't miss out. Head to kings.com/tickets to secure your seat for the action now.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-837-1919, 800-837-1919, 800-837-1919.
There's no need to be scared of auto maintenance this October. Your local Jiffy Lube has just the treats you need without the tricks, like fast oil changes or wiper blades for the upcoming rainy season. Serving greater Sacramento area customers since 1984 with over 30 convenient locations to choose from. Open daily, early at 7:30 and open past 6 p.m. at most locations. Just visit jiffylube.com to find a location near you and valuable coupons to save money too.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sacktown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sacktown Sports and subscribe.
Smells like pizza in here. Chris Watkins.
It smells a little salty in here.
That's weird.
And
Yeah,
Nate
that's me.
Littlefield. Housing a pizza.
No.
Long day.
No.
Housing a pizza.
No.
11:28.
What are you talking about?
11:28.
Jealousy.
Sounds salty.
I'm good.
Sounds like it.
I'm so good.
Yeah.
I actually
He
can't.
literally ripped the box open, so it's just open
It's just
air.
open air pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just pizza
What do you want?
here.
And it's
You took
My
like
tummy
half of
still
it.
hurts.
He took.
yeah, because we're splitting it, Chris.
We are. Just thought you would take it like a slice.
No,
I'm
no.
so hungry.
He didn't even break them into slices. He's just eating one half of the pie.
You guys ever do that? Take one of those
No.
frozen Tony's pizzas and just
eat
house it like a taco?
No.
No.
Oh.
No. I
This
haven't.
must be
I've done
Costco
a lot
guy
of crazy
thing.
food
Yeah.
stuff, but not
You're gonna bring the boom
not
all
pizza
right.
taco.
In the
Yeah.
upstairs
Oh, yeah.
bathroom. That's where you're.
We bring the boom
Yeah.
in the upstairs
What we
bathroom.
do.
Buy some Lysol. All right.
Oh my goodness.
Let's get to NFL Blitz.
Midway presents NFL Blitz.
All right, Chris. I just saw an NFL Blitz full-on video game set
Yeah.
when you were a kid.
They usually
I
have
can't
them at
remember where it
Costco. I
was.
think. Yeah.
I wasn't in. I didn't go in Costco. I got it brought.
Costco absolutely is so happy about this free advertising.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, this
because they don't advertise
Oh, but they
like In and Out.
Yeah, they've never had to, and now they'll never have to. All right, NFL Blitz. Doug Peterson pounds the Patriots 32-16. Chris, this one was in the UK, and the Jaguars really, really needed it, and they got it. They took care of business.
Yeah, I don't know what this means for Doug Peterson. That's the thing I'm trying to figure out. I mean, I guess good for him. He made it on the plane ride back. I think that was a serious question heading into the trip, was if he was going to make it back with the team. So, they have – this is insane that they have 2 wins outside of the country and no wins within the United States of America, and it's going to be that way for at least a couple more weeks. I don't know what to do with this team. Congratulations. I think you beat the second worst team in football in the Patriots. Good job.
Yeah,
Good job.
just
Did you watch that one? Did you get up to watch that one?
I caught the end of it.
Oh,
I
good,
wasn't
good.
I wasn't up
There's no need.
Yeah, I wasn't up the whole time. Well, they lost one in the UK. They lost to the Bears.
Oh, that's right. They did lose one
And
of the
then
That's
they
right.
beat the
That's
Patriots.
right.
They
That's
beat
right.
the Joe Flacco
That's right.
Colts.
You would
the
know
week
you were up.
before. Yes, I would know. I was up. So at least the Jags, they live to fight another day. Vikings undefeated, no more. Lions win 31-29. Are you one of those guys, Chris? Are you happy that your Vikings lost in that, hey, this is more realistic, or let's get it out the way, we weren't going undefeated?
I mean, not really. I just think the Lions were the better team. If the Vikings would have won, I would have been really happy. I would have kind of said that I probably would have believed they were more capable of being a Super Bowl team. It sounds kind of dumb because they did play incredibly well, and it did end up coming down to a game-winning field goal to decide it. But, I just think that at the end of the day, you play a better team, you lose to them. There's no shame in it. I think the fact that the Vikings put up a good fight makes me feel better about the team, but I just think the Lions are in a different class than really pretty much all the NFC. They've been absolutely incredible. And, where we talk about Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan not being able to figure out Brian Flores, Jared Goff has quietly just absolutely demolished the Vikings these past 2 years. He's had no problems with the Brian Flores defense. So I don't know what to do with that, but I have to tip my cap to him and say he's been the better man a lot of different nights.
Seahawks win the Battle of the Birds 34-14 over the Falcons. I don't know who this says more about, Chris. I think it says more about the Falcons than the Seahawks. I mean, you pay Kurt all this money. You're thinking you're going to take advantage of a weak NFC South, which they still have a chance now with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans going down for the Bucks. But I was ready to be done with the Seahawks. Truly, as we talk about the some teams being other teams' daddy. Truly, it just seems like right now the Niners are just this Seahawks daddy, even though the Chiefs are the Niners daddy, because the Seahawks just look like a completely different. I know they lost to the Giants the week before the Niners, but they just look like a completely different team when they don't play the Niners.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with the Seahawks. I think they're incredibly average, but you know, I definitely agree with you that it feels like this says more about the Falcons not really being able to compete at a super high level. I thought that they had the clearest lane to win the NFC South, and it feels like, I mean, again, we'll see how much the injuries of yesterday impact the Bucs, but to me, it feels like they aren't the best team. I don't know, besides 1 week, I don't know if the Falcons have even looked like the best team in that division for a single time this season. It was the Saints the first couple weeks, and then it feels like the Falcons had that Monday night, Sunday night game. I can't remember which one it was. It was a primetime game where they played really well, got the Kirk Cousins last fourth quarter drive, and then since then it's kind of been the Bucs is the best team in that division. So I don't really know what to do about the Falcons this year.
Packers win the franchise QB face-off 24-22 over the Texans. This game was fun. I thought it would be even more fun than it was, but hey, Packers get it done. They get the field goal at the end of the game. I still think something is off with the Texans. They just haven't clicked the way they clicked last season. They've had a couple injuries. It's almost as if they have a ton of wide receivers because one is always going to be injured. They never have every wide receiver. Somebody is Nico Collins 1 week, is Tank Dell the next week. Stephon Diggs has been healthy, but yeah, something I've been saying it, Chris, and even though I picked the Texans in this game because I just felt like the Packers and Jordan Love would give up the football, which he did, but the Texans just could not take advantage of it. We don't talk about the Packers defense a lot, but that because of that tells me, I'm just going to continue to say it. Something is not completely right with the Texans. Maybe it's just a sophomore slump. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I just continue to be incredibly impressed by the Packers. I think the thing that really highlighted how well coached they are is those 2 wins with Malik Willis. That shouldn't be possible. And the fact that they do that, and I really do believe if Jordan Love just stops turning the ball over, they're going to start blowing out teams. That's a big if, because it does seem like he is in love with throwing interceptions. So, I think they're a really good team, but it does feel like it's what ended up dooming them in the Niners game too, right? If Jordan Love doesn't throw it clear across his body 40 yards down the field, maybe they have a better shot at winning that game. I mean, I like the Packer. Don't clip that. I like the Packer, how they're playing this season. But ultimately, I think they have to stop turning the ball over.
Saquon gets his revenge. Eagles win 28-3. We have some sound from Saquon that we're going to play a little bit later in the show, where Saquon had an opportunity to get his career high in rushing yards, and he chose not to. Could have did it against a team that chose to move on from him, but he chose not to do that. He still got his revenge, though, Chris. And again, I thought the Giants would make this more competitive. I didn't think they'd win. I guess the Eagles impressed me a little bit, but they have a long road to hoe before I'm going to think that they're anything close to what they were a couple of years ago.
They're discount Chiefs in the worst way possible. They just get these close games, and it's a 50-50 shot, and they don't have the talent. They don't have Patrick Mahomes, and I think that's the big difference. I mean, they just keep playing these grinded out games. Saquon is saving their season. If they just had Miles Sanders again at running back, I don't know what their record would be. Right. Saquon's been absolutely incredible. Besides Derrick Henry, I think he's been the best back in the league, and even then I think there's an argument. I really, again, another team that I just don't know what to do with their top end. I think they're scrappy. I think it's kind of a team that not a lot of people would want to face on a given week, but at the same time, I don't really know if they definitely don't instill the same fear that they did a couple years ago.
Yeah, look, doing it against the Giants, cool. Parade. Let's see what you got coming up on your schedule. The return of Marcus Mariota.
Oh no,
the Commanders get it done 40-7, Chris. I know the Panthers are bad.
They are.
But Marcus Mariota, 2 touchdowns he throws for, and they win 40-7. I don't know what to do with the Marcus Mariota part of this, but it does prove that, well, 1, the Panthers stink, which we already knew.
Really,
and 2, Cliff Kingsbury and his offense is rolling right now.
To me, if I'm a Panthers fan, I'm done. There's nothing to watch for. If you're losing to Marcus Mariota and allowing 40 points, I really don't know what your hope is this season. It's crazy that Bryce Young's not even checking into these games either. Like, I don't know what it's going to take for him to step back out there, but the Panthers are just an absolute mess, and I don't know how they fix it. They are not a first pick in the draft away from turning this thing around. Good luck, Steph.
Chiefs remain injured and perfect. They win 28-18 over the Niners. We will move quickly past that one. New Jets, same losses. They lose to the Steelers 37-15. I think the Jets are just not very good, but I was more so impressed by the Steelers and what that offense looked like.
Yeah.
Looked like the vibes were right, Chris. We had that clip from Najee Harris saying, what's up to his brother in a different way, and he's going to get fined for that. But it seems like the Steelers really happy with what they have rocking and rolling right now. Ravens find their stride 41-31. Still tried to give up the bacon at the very end, but they're able to hold on to the victory. And the Chargers remain the Cardinals remain annoying. Chargers offense remains atrocious, 17-15 in a game where that game probably had that, especially being ESPN Plus. I'm willing to bet that might have been, I know it's Monday night, so maybe that saves it. That could possibly have been the worst rated game as far as amount of people that watched ratings wise this season. It's on ESPN Plus. You doubled it with luckily the Bucks and Ravens. That game kind of got out of hand, but that game was terrible,
horrible.
And
no reason to watch.
Is Jim Harbaugh are we just gonna get through this season and he's gonna figure out that he actually needs to use his quarterback? What is that? He's just gonna waste the season?
He does not care. He's just like Justin Herbert. Chris, I don't care. I don't think they're very good.
It was bad.
He does not think Justin Herbert's very good. Clearly. There's no other answer for it because
he's just hitting his shoulder pads before the game.
Doesn't use him at all. Like it's absolutely crazy. He treats him like he's Sam Darnold or something. I mean, it's absolutely nuts. I don't know what's going on. I know that's Harbaugh's style of football, but especially when you have running backs as injury prone as J.K. Dobbins is. Kind of feels like you should. I know they don't really have receiving weapons, but yeah, it feels like maybe they should be a Cooper Kupp team. He doesn't even need to go anywhere. He can play in the same facility, same building, but they need somebody to give their offensive passing game some sort of life.
Let's go around the NFL when we return. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
According to Dave Pells, most golfers don't allow for enough break on putts. During your next round, mark your scorecard, whether you missed putts above the hole with an A or below the hole with a B. If you have more Bs, add more break until you have an equal number of A and B misses, and you'll make more putts. Ernie L. says bombing the driver on a par 5 might not always be the best strategy. Rather, you should get yourself to your ideal shot distance to the green. So if that's 120 yards, then for a 500-yard hole, you need shots of 200 and 180 yards. There are lots of ways to play a hole. Bobby Jones said a leading difficulty with the average player is that they totally misunderstand what is meant by concentration. They may think they're concentrating when they are merely worrying. Jones and all the great players knew that the game is played in the 6 inches between your ears. If that's your golf to go, I'm Frank LaRosa.
Grab the keys to a new Toyota.
Let's go!
And go apple picking. Go to a football game. Go ghost hunting. Or not. This fall, get a low lease on the sporty 2024 Corolla, adventure-ready RAV4 Hybrid, rugged Tacoma, and even the new all-hybrid 2025 Camry.
Grab the keys, come on, let's go!
Toyota, let's go places. Offer available to TFS buyers with premium rated credit until 11/4/24.
Tesla, keeping it real tour. Saturday, November 9th within you at Thunder Valley. Tesla, live. The multi-platinum rock band returns with special guest, Fuel. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Tesla, keeping it real tour.
At the law offices of Dale R. Gomes, we understand that when you're facing a crisis, you need more than just a lawyer. You need a team. Our dedicated attorneys work together, combining decades of experience to guide you through personal injury or criminal defense matters with care and expertise. We're committed to supporting you every step of the way, ensuring your voice is heard and your rights are protected. With offices in Sacramento and El Dorado County, reach out to the law offices of Dale R. Gomes today, 916-999-9033, or online at dalegomslaw.com.
O'Reilly. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts in West Sacramento and Town Center Plaza next to Nugget Markets now through October 29th for the Customer Appreciation Day sale. You'll get 2 times O rewards points on select purchases. Plus, pick up 5 quarts of any Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil and receive a $10 gift card after rebate. And buy one, get one free Coca-Cola products at your Town Center Plaza, O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is your unsurpassed spot to find the hottest golf gear, best pricing, and elite expertise. Every club on the shelves can be tried for free on the driving range. 3 TrackMan units and a Hagen Oaks team of skilled fitting professionals provide the finest club fitting experience. Our personable Super Shop staff will show you the newest to help you look and play your best. You love golf. The Hagen Oaks team loves golf too. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80. Learn more at hagenoaks.com or 916-481-GOLF.
Don't miss Stoney's Rockin' Rodeo's Halloween bashes this weekend. That's right, Stoney has Halloween costume contests each night, including sexiest, scariest, and best, and a superhero/villain contest this Sunday night. Winners get a dash for cash on the dance floor, free late night food, country dancing, and Halloween fun all weekend long. I'll see you on the dance floor.
Sacktown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
About to go around the NFL. Yeah, I think it was William Lamas on the Sack Chat. I believe it was William bringing up the Rams. As a Rams fan, and would the Rams trade Cooper Kupp? Well, Diana Rossini is reporting that Cooper Kupp is active, or he is actively in trade talks. You know, guys, I was looking up Matthew Stafford, and he's 36 years old. They got their Super Bowl. Puka Nacua is now a young buck. There are now reports that they're willing to trade one Cooper Kupp. What do we think the Rams, both these teams, I mean, the Seahawks, I think, have even younger talent than the Rams, and I think the Seahawks have more of it, to be honest. What is this the Rams saying that it's almost time to move forward? I mean, if let's say, and I know Cooper Kupp is returning, but at this point, if you're the Rams or a Rams fan, do you even you might not be full on Raiderville, and I know it's a weaker Western or NFC West and just NFC this season, but you're 2-4 right now. You're by no means done, but you know, you're just kind of in the same spot you were last season, where it's, hey, let's get in and maybe we can be a wild card team. When are they going to just wave the white flag, Chris, and just say, hey, we got our ring. Aaron Donald's now gone. Let's move to the next iteration. Because they're stuck. I mean, like I said, Matthew Stafford, 36 years old. He hasn't been terribly healthy. I think their backup still Garoppolo?
Sure
I'm just not really sure what their plan is. Right?
And Bennett.
And Stetson Bennett.
Yeah, Georgia boys.
How many Stetsons are running around these days?
3, probably. He's probably a junior. I feel like the Rams are kind of waving the white flag a little bit. I wonder how much the Aaron Donald retirement caught them by surprise. If maybe they were thinking, hey, we understand the window is closing, but we have 36-year-old Matt Stafford. Maybe we can get a couple. Maybe they were thinking a couple more years out of Aaron Donald, or maybe a year-by-year basis. And we still have Puka Nacua, which is kind of found money. He was, a 5th, 7th round pick or something like that last year, and ends up emerging as one of the top receivers. And then you get Cooper Kupp back for this season. I think maybe they were kind of hoping for a version of a last dance. Their defense was crazy young last year. Maybe, again, the thought is that this season could be maybe you catch lightning in a bottle and surprise people, and then you officially kind of call it an era. And I think that with them being one win so far this season, and that one win being against the Niner team that probably shouldn't have let the Rams win that game, I think that they're just kind of caught off guard, and maybe they do finally see, not even finally, I think it is the appropriate time to see the writing on the wall and try and get out before you end up digging yourself a hole that's too deep, or you end up doing what the Raiders did and potentially losing a ton of value on a guy that has value right now, but you're going to hold on to for pride's sake, essentially. I think it's a good move for them to look to move on from Cooper Kupp. And if they can, I guess it's probably easier during the offseason, but I think if you can try and find another home for Matthew Stafford, I kind of do think that the Rams should look into a rebuild. But I think the problem is, honestly, they're also scared of Sean McVay retiring. If we remember after the Super Bowl, there was like an uncomfortable amount of talk of Sean McVay retiring at 37 years old and becoming a Fox analyst the rest of his life.
Podcast.
I think that's what they're kind of afraid of, is if they suck, or if it gives any semblance of a rebuild and not really anything to hold on for. Kind of think they're afraid Sean McVay might just walk.
Because at this point, what is he coaching? Like, what
he's
doing?
Ruining his record. Like, that's what he's doing right now.
Right.
I mean, he's got the potential to be one of the best coaches of all time with how much success he already has at such a young age. There's not really much in it to be a part of a rebuild. He should try and jump from team to team and just try and be successful everywhere he can go.
What a confusing, what a confusing career. One of these guys who obviously
You're talking McVay or Stafford? Yeah. Both of them, honestly.
More so McVay, but yeah, we'll see what happens if Cooper Kupp gets moved. Let's get into around the NFL. You know what that means. And speaking of top tier quarterbacks, from the University of Cincinnati, there's a job to be done. You want Shedeur Sanders? You want Cam Ward? Desmond Ridder will help you get it done.
Put in the closer.
L's on L's. The Raiders aren't messing around. They're bringing in the big guns to get the L's we need to get the quarterback. Indeed. Desmond Ridder signs with the Raiders. Just in case Gardner Minshew wants to mess around and play well.
Right.
We got Desmond Ridder waiting in the wings. Jameson Williams. This guy is not the sharpest tool in the shed. He's been in trouble before. Jameson Williams of the Lions. Okay, so now the Lions, Chris, speaking of Super Bowl windows,
crazy.
Now the Lions, they have the huge injury with Aiden Hutchinson last weekend. They still win this weekend, and now Jameson Williams is facing a 2-game suspension for violating the NFL's performance-enhancing substances. People were wondering, since it's only 2 games, what did he take? Because it was only 2 games, and he was also awful last week, and I think he had -4 catches. So people were saying, you got suspended for that?
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
No idea. I mean, this kid has the world in front of him, really. I mean, I know the Lions think of him incredibly highly. They traded up to go get him in that draft, and he just hasn't really been available for them, period, to develop at all. And I think he can be an incredibly dangerous number 2 receiver, but he just has to stay on the field, and it's been a problem for him his entire career so far. I hope he figures it out, but honestly, for my Vikings sake, I kind of hope he doesn't, because I think the Lions, are they significantly worse without him? No, but Jameson Williams adds and he's the definition of an X factor. He does, like you said, I mean, you just read out his stats. It's not like he's getting 8 to 10 receptions a game, but it feels like they always have a 50-yard bomb waiting for Jameson Williams at some point in the game that can get you, and he's been really good at it. He just got to stay on the field, man.
Yeah, you have to stay on the field. And look, injury is one thing.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And he played with a broken foot or something when he was at Alabama.
But he already got suspended for gambling.
Right. So this guy has a bit of a checkered past. Mike Evans undergoing an MRI this morning, Chris. I mean, things, again, go from bad to worse if you are the Bucs. And it still gives a reason for the Niners to believe that they can hang around and make some moves, man.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, Mike Evans, both of those receivers having absolutely insane seasons. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Obviously, Godwin's out for the season. You hope Mike Evans can make a return. But again, those soft tissue injuries, especially the hamstrings, like those things, they just don't get better, especially when you get him in the middle of the season. It feels like it just lingers and lingers. He'll get a ton of targets, but I just hope he can. I hope he can stay healthy too.
And last but not least, he's back on the show.
Oh, boy.
Jared Jones is back on 105.3, the Dallas Cowboys flagship. And he had this to say when he was asked about, why didn't you go get that man, Derrick Henry, who works out in Dallas during the offseason? This is what he had to say.
We have Derrick Henry or not. Derrick Henry is having a career year. I don't know if he'd be having that career year in our situation. And that's really something you really do have to look at, because if he had not had as many carries as our running backs have had, then he certainly probably wouldn't have attained the level of impact he's having. And then he's a real good complement to the type of offense they run. We don't run that type of offense at all. Our situation is more about, frankly, it's more about holding your blocks. It's more about not making mistakes.
Not scoring points.
It's more about, in my mind, the receivers running through a tough man-to-man coverage and running on through it. And, if you will, get away from that. The types of things that we all think we should be looking at is where we're designing bad plays or we're designing bad concepts. The facts are that there's some of that, but there's also some of execution. There's some of the talent. I like our talent. I really do like our talent. I like our young talent, but young talent has a few more mistakes associated with it.
There you have it. Derrick Henry wouldn't work in this offense. But you know who does, Chris? What's left of Ezekiel Elliott and a guy that I'm actually taller than, Deuce Vaughn.
It's crazy. I mean, I'm looking at it here. In 2019, he signed a 6-year, $90 million extension to one Ezekiel Elliott. That was 4 or 5 years ago, and he's been on. He went to the Patriots and then came back to the Cowboys in that time.
Yes,
but no, they're not really about running the ball. They're more about holding their box.
Yeah,
which I don't know what. So it's actually not about the running back quality. It's about the lineman, which kind of makes sense, but it just doesn't. That's not an excuse for not getting Derrick Henry.
Hold your dang block.
Do you think he rehearsed that before? No, that's got to be a freestyle.
No,
because someone would have told him, Jerry, I don't think that hits quite like what you think it does.
I'm surprised they even had the stones to ask him about not getting Derrick Henry. I mean, he works out in Dallas during the. He also said, I saw a quote. He also said that he was surprised that last week became such a big deal based on what he said. That's what Jerry had to say. All right, we told you we were tying a bow on the NFL for this week because you know what time it is. It's time for the purple. It's time for the black. It's time for the beam. We got NBA talk. We got Kings talk. We got Tony Harvey, the Sacramento Observer, to kick things off or to tip things off for us as the NBA starts a new season tonight. Don't move a muscle. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find Kevin Herter is Sacktown Sports.
Herter's open, steps into three. He's got the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Kevin Herter, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader. Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text BODY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BODY to 42424. That's BODY to 42424.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question.
Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
For 76 years, the Keys family from Naturewood Home Furnishings has been serving families just like yours and mine. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings, most of which are made right here in this country. The kitchen table, which we purchased so many years ago, speaks to the enduring quality of the Naturewood product lines. We treasure memories made seated around that table with family and friends for birthday celebrations, school projects, and many late-night meals when the day just got away from us. Naturewood has provided thousands with home furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their 76th anniversary sale and get started making your own brand of memories. Meet the Keys family at Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Insurance companies perform a very valuable service, but they want to keep their money. Although most cases settle before trial, it is paramount that the insurance companies know that if pressed, your legal team has the experience to take your case all the way. For 25 years, Ashton & Price has earned the reputation that if the insurance company isn't fair, we're ready to force them to be fair. My mom used to warn me, wait till dad gets home. Think of us as dad. The best part, there's no fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Get ready for an incredible night as the iconic Little River Band hits the stage at the Nugget Casino Resort Grand Ballroom. Join us Saturday, November 16th at the Nugget Grand Ballroom for an unforgettable concert experience. You'll hear all your favorites in this must-see event of classic rock. The Little River Band live at the Nugget Casino Resort Grand Ballroom. For tickets and info, visit nuggetcasinoresort.com.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all four arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140. Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and The Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SacktownSports.com. Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sacktown Sports.
All right, football. We know you're not going anywhere. But it is time for us to move on because the NBA is back. The Kings season is more than right around the corner, a couple days away. We can start using hours pretty soon here. And what better way to tip things off than with our guy, Tony Harvey of the Sacramento Observer. Tony, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Hey, yes,
gotcha.
sir. Loud and clear.
Okay. Yeah. And Alan, I just want to rectify that. I no longer work for that publication. I have moved on. I'm doing work with California Black Media and a couple other sports outlet here in Northern California. So just want to make sure that's clear. I've moved
There you
on to
go.
Yeah, definitely.
greener pastures, but thanks for mentioning that. And it is
Of
good to be
course.
with you guys here on this straight up afternoon. Styles
Absolutely.
and
There you
Tone.
go.
Anytime, Tone.
Well,
Yes,
congrats
sir.
to you, Tone, and we can't wait to see what you do there. Let's get into what the Kings are going to do, Tone. First of all, how many seasons is this for you covering the Kings?
About to start my 23rd season.
Man.
Wow.
I think I was just mentioned it a couple of weeks ago. I think around media day, I actually covered my first game in 1995 at the old Arco Arena, a sleep train arena, whatever they calling it back then.
Right.
We all know the old story. And at that,
Yeah.
Nick Anderson was playing for the Orlando Magic, and as you know, Nick would later play for the Sacramento Kings, but
Right.
he's one of those Illinois Fighting Illini greats, and I always followed his career. So I want that was my first NBA story when I was at that publication, Stiles Watkins, and I covered some games off and on from there, and then I consistently started covering the Kings in 2000 into 2001, and 2002 was my full season. So I've been at it ever since then. So we talk about 23 years. Actually, I was following the franchise before that, when they were in Kansas City. You talk about 40 years because Eddie Johnson, another Fighting Illini great, he was drafted by the Kansas City Kings. And I think he was there for about 3 or 4 years before they transitioned here to Sacramento. So I would say that I have a long story history with this franchise.
Absolutely.
I've always been a Chicago Bulls fan, but I've been hanging around this franchise for a long, long time. But it's been great. I love it here. I've been living in the city for 36 years as of this past August. I like to say that I've grown with the city and I've grown with the team, and of course, we look for better things, especially this upcoming season.
Speaking of this season, Tone, talking to Tony Harvey. Speaking of this season, where would you say this season ranks in terms of your expectations? Over 20 years covering the Kings, they get DeMar DeRozan, obviously huge season for De'Aaron Fox. Keegan Murray, you're looking for him to take that third-year leap. Where does this season rank as far as how high your expectations are for this Kings team?
Well, just like, the last couple seasons, with Mike Brown at the helm, I definitely have high expectations for this team. I X'd out, the preseason. I don't think really anybody, put any bearing on that. A few years ago, Luke Walton, his first year, I think 2019, he went 5-0 preseason, and he started off the season 0-5. So, but consider with the Kings bringing in DeMar, and we've seen some movement with McLaughlin coming into play now. They just signed they went out and hired another gun and Doug McDermott, McBuckets, and we're looking at the development of Keegan Murray, which I think every year he's bringing something to the table. He's putting something in his bag, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. I do think De'Aaron's going to take another step, so I have high expectations for that. I do look for a return for Kevin Huerter, should he remain in the Kings uniform for the next season or a few games or whatever they want to do with him. But I do expect him to make a comeback. I really do have a high expectation, for this team. They're still kind of, a deficiency here in the length and size department, but I think the team can pretty much hold their own from what I observed in preseason, at least with the starters. They didn't have Malik Monk service for most of the time, but I think, he's going to come around, and we must be mindful that, and grateful that, he was willing to re-sign with this team because, he's a nucleus. He's a big spark plug, for this team, especially coming off the bench. I know he wants to start, but I like to see him in that reserve role. So, and if that is the case, I think he has another chance to vie for $6 million of the year. So, yeah, I have extremely high expectation for the Kings. It's going to be extremely tough here in the Western Conference. Again, as we noticed, there's been some movement around here. I think Oklahoma City probably start off, if you give a run, they probably be leading the Western Conference for most of the season because of the additions that they have of getting Isaiah Hartenstein and the other guard from Chicago, Caruso. Yeah. They're going to be a pretty strong team on down the line, with the Dallas Mavericks and of course, the Denver Nuggets, the Clippers. I'm not really putting any bearing on, what the Los Angeles Lakers doing this season because I don't know what they're doing this season. I don't think the Los Angeles Lakers know what they're doing, but I do hope the Kings can sweep them again this season. But yeah, gentlemen, it's going to be an exciting season in these next 40 hours. I cannot wait to that tip off. If they throw that ball up in the air and we get this thing rolling for the Sacramento Kings.
Let's do it. And Tone, I think something we all love and appreciate about you is that you always have seen something and said something, especially when it comes to the Kings. I'm just curious from your side of things and in your eyes, where do you think things really went wrong for this team last year? Because I think a lot of people, when you're spinning the narrative that was last season, a lot of people just kind of default and say, "Oh yeah, Malik and Kevin get hurt at the end of the year, and the Kings didn't meet their expectations." But I think that's just not really true. It felt like I think they struggled through a lot of last season to kind of find consistency, and then Malik and Kevin going down was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm just curious from your side of things, what did you see that went wrong last year, and then do you feel like they addressed that and that they'll be better this year?
Well, I have to start with those bad losses that they had. With the Portland Trail Blazers losing 6 games to the Pelicans. Really 5 in the regular season. Then, they lost that play-in game against them. And then, with the Washingtons, Chicago snuck in there. G1 said you go to one center and they took one away from them that they probably should have had. Miami, we've seen what Jaime Jaquez did. I don't think the Kings, we're expecting to be bombarded like that, with these certain teams. So I think those losses really had a big effect on the team, more so than Herter and Malik, being missing towards the end of the season. So if they can correct and address those issues to be focused, you got to play 48 minutes in this league, and these teams right here, they're hungry. People looking for opportunities and jobs, from these, I shouldn't call them, lower tier teams, but that's what they were. And they come in here, they beat the Kings, they go on the road, they beat the King. I keep bringing this up too, because they really have to watch it. Because when they lost that game to who was that? Not the Charlotte Hornets.
It could have been
Detroit Pistons.
Detroit
Pistons. I think that was February. Right, the Blazers too. But the Detroit Pistons. Okay, at that time, the Detroit Pistons was the worst team in the league at that time. And we know all the troubles that they were having at the time. Okay. Yeah. So they swapped places with the Washington Wizards 6 weeks later. The Kings go to Washington and, they lose to the District, which was the worst team in the league at the time. So if they are mindful of these type of games that they must win, okay, that's the name of the game. That's why they play the game, to win. I think that would address many of their issues too. Also, what I'm really looking for, especially at the start of the season, is how they're going to respond as far as the defensive team. Because they do have DeMar DeRozan too. As you know, the first part of the season, last season, they were having issues with that. And then the NBA, they kind of, laxed up on that and started letting them play a lot more physical. Okay. And the Kings can play a physical game. So if they can address those issues, okay, be mindful that, with this competition of these lower level teams and what they're bringing and bring their defense, the Kings play consistent defense. Hey, we could be looking at 50, 51, 52 wins. That's my perspective on it, Chris.
Tony Harvey, before we get you out of here, Tone, great stuff as always. Well, look, Tone, It's about that time. You got to stand on business. Give us your prediction. Where are the Kings going to finish, and what happens for them in the postseason? They're going to be 4 seed, 5 seed, back in the play-in. Where do you have them finishing? And you can either go with how many wins you think they'll have or how far they go in the playoffs.
I think they can reach as high as 4th place. And their record, like I said, could be anywhere between 50, 51, 52 on the season. Of course, if they're in 4th or 3rd or 4th, they'll get home court advantage for that first round series. And the name of the game is not only to make the playoffs, but to get to the second round. To get to the second round, to get to the semi-round. And it's possibly, get into that Western Conference final. I think the Kings, I know that the Kings could do all these things. And I know that's pretty much what they're preparing for right now. Because if you go back to the preseason training camp, they haven't showed us all their stuff. So I think when they get that out there, roll their system out there and let the fans know, how serious they are, that they are standing on business styles. These things can be accomplished. These things can be achieved.
Tony Harvey, California Black Media. Tony, thank you so much for joining us. Let's do it again. I'll see you Thursday, Tony.
Right. I'll see you both Thursday, Chris and Stiles and Watkins. I'll see you both there. Hey, thanks again, man. Y'all have a great afternoon.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
too,
Tone.
Absolutely.
Same to you. That is Tony Harvey from California Black Media. Tone has been covering the Kings for a very, very, very long time, and he does a great job doing it. Coming up next, we started with the Kings. Now we're going to go around the NBA. Philly already has players out. I mean, you talk about somebody like Joel Embiid really taking this thing seriously as far as not playing. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SacktownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SacktownSports.com.
Don't miss the action as the Kings tip off their 40th season in Sacramento. Be there for opening night at Golden One Center on Thursday, October 24th, when the Kings take on the Minnesota Timberwolves at 7 p.m. Tickets for all games are on sale now, so be sure to get yours to see De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, new addition DeMar DeRozan, and all of your Sacramento Kings take the court. Head to kings.com/tickets to secure your seat for the action.
Model Year End pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the Model Year End event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to folsomlakehonda.com. Your one-stop Honda shop.
Sacktown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sacktown Sports and subscribe.
It is time. Once again, thank you to Tony Harvey and Sam Morrell. Ticket giveaway. 15 minutes. You don't want to miss that. If you're on the app, go ahead and switch on over. You want those tickets. They went fast yesterday. They'll go fast again. But it is time now to go around the NBA. Hit it!
Oh, it hits different.
We're not around the corner.
Post pizza hits different.
Nate's going to miss a segment pretty soon here in the bathroom. But it's time for Around the NBA. I'm not going anywhere. Maybe Chris will. But Chris isn't going anywhere either. We're going around the NBA.
I'm not leaving.
And speaking of not being able to do your job, Joel Embiid and Paul George are both out for Philly's season opener against the Bucks. Man, they make the Kings wait all the way till Thursday for their first game. Got Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Joel Embiid and Paul George are both out for Philly season opener versus the Bucks on Wednesday. Embiid will miss the entire week, and Paul George will be reevaluated later this week. They weren't even. I'm just trying to figure out how we've gotten here. So I did have the. Is something happening, Chris?
No, it's just funny. It's just funny that the season hasn't even started.
Not
yet,
even.
And Joel's already missing games.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, so wait. So because it's Phillies Bucks, right?
Yeah.
So no Joel Embiid, no Paul George, no Chris Middleton.
That is correct.
That's what we're doing.
Setting the tone.
Here it is. I didn't make Nate work too hard by bleeping out what Kevin Garnett had to say in regards to the back-to-backs that Joel Embiid will not be participating in. This is what he had to say, though. It's bleeping amazing that he can get this off, Garnett said of Embiid. Back-to-backs are part of the bleep of the season. That's like 15 games a year. So automatically you're not playing in 15 games.
That is correct.
82 games, man. That's what the bleeping job calls for, Garnett said. Man, I don't want to hear this bleep. I don't want to hear none of this bleep. Bleep can sit out of back-to-backs. Hey, listen, we done with that comparison of the era's bleep. We're going to respect this era and what it does, and that's it. But don't compare nobody because you can't. Ain't nobody holding anyone accountable. So not only are they not going to practice, they're going to sit out games? Question mark. Close quote. That was Kevin Garnett.
As only Kevin Garnett can put it. Absolutely wonderful. I mean,
it's
he's
insane.
Right. It's crazy. I just literally couldn't imagine being a Clipper fan or being a Sixer fan and just, you have to have so much faith in the rest of the guys to hold up the team in those 15 games. I just think of on a random night when we find out De'Aaron Fox isn't playing, maybe I hang around Frankie too much, but I'm automatically like, this is a loss. This is just a loss. The Kings don't win this game. This is a loss. And so to just automatically, you can look at your schedule right now and know that there's 15 games that your best player is not going to be at. It's just crazy. That's really where the NBA might have a legitimate problem. And I know they've tried to fix it with the load management, but come on, you got to have your stars playing at some point.
You guys could take every other day off if you want. If you guys are working too hard,
I think so. Load management,
Yeah,
we'll need to be there for the season, the playoffs. We're really supposed to do 100 straight shows leading into the playoffs.
It's not 90s radio.
That's crazy.
This is what happens when you don't have anything to. You can't scare anybody with anything. Embiid got his MVP. He truly does not care.
Doesn't care.
And what's crazy is he's hiding behind a good reason. In theory, he's hiding behind the reason of winning a championship.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. I actually agree with the logic.
Embiid can't stay healthy. Okay, well, I'm going to play less games, so hopefully I'm healthy when it matters. Well, don't be soft. You can't do that either. Well, I don't know how to help it. I just think his knees are dust. That's just
100%.
That's just really what it is. Nike will remain the NBA and WNBA's exclusive uniform and apparel provider. The NBA and Nike have agreed to a 12-year extension. Nike and the NBA just is what I'm used to, Chris. I can't see a Puma or Adidas or anybody like that. It is what it is.
It sucks. Let me tell you, it sucks. Nike has done a terrible job running the NBA, the NFL, all the jerseys.
Not like the baseball pants.
That's Nike too. That is Nike. That is literally Nike. Nike met with MLB to get those new uniforms and just told Fanatics to make with the materials that they were told. It's all Nike's fault. Some of these city edition jerseys, all of them, they're trash. It feels like 85% of the jerseys are just unwearable. I could literally go all day on this. I just think that this is one of the worst things that I've heard the NBA do in a really long time. Go back to Adidas.
The WNBA Players Association officially opted out of their current collective bargaining agreement. Based on this decision, the current CBA will end on Halloween 2025, giving both sides approximately a year to negotiate a new agreement. They're going to say, we're new money. Yep. They're going to bring a picture of Caitlin Clark.
Yep.
And they're going to say, you know why I'm here.
It's my money and I want it now.
Yeah. It's my money and I need it now.
That's what's happening.
That's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to want a lump sum, Chris. They're not going to want that in portions. All right, let's get to what everybody is interested in. Brian Windhorst talking about Bronny James playing tonight. Here it is.
But the big story tonight on opening night is out here in Los Angeles, where I think we're going to see a historic moment with LeBron and Bronny James. Now, the Lakers aren't saying for sure, but they've shown their hand a little bit with Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr. being guests of Nike here tonight. This is a big thing for LeBron. I would expect, as long as the game is going Nike, okay, be in your seat at the start of the second quarter. That's when J.J. Redick did this in the preseason to start the second quarter. And the coach, I know it's his debut, but he is totally leaning into this, Greeny. He understands how this moment is energizing LeBron. And energizing LeBron is good for the Lakers. Forget about anything else.
I'm telling y'all, the Lakers are winning tonight. Lock it in and lock it up.
Doesn't sound like they want to win. They're not putting their best players in. Doesn't sound like they want to win to me.
Ken Griffey Jr., Sr. You got to admit, and I'm not a Bronny hater, but I do hate the Lakers. Ken Griffey Jr., Sr., and Jr. are going to be there. I think that's just awesome. I mean, as a baseball guy, being in a lineup with your pops, calling your pops off fly balls. I mean, this is not what's happening in L.A.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, but I do think it's really cool. And shout out to anybody that is going to get this reference. 2 references here. Ken Griffey Jr. baseball on N64. Greatest baseball game that you will ever play. And Kyle's back there, and I know he doesn't even know what an N64 is. No idea. And 2, if you had
those are the masks, right? N64 masks.
That's right. Yeah. If you had the swingman cleats back in the day, the Griffey swingman cleats, I know you hit some dingers. On the other side, we get into the NBA team most likely to surprise you. Chris and I do not have the same answer. By the way, somebody thinks they're about to make a Kawhi leap. We'll tell you who it is when we return. Stiles Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Live and local.
With everything 49ers.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Dives for the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco! Paul George went up and caught the ball. Touchdown!
The 49ers play on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Kelly Kern in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We are looking at decreasing clouds as we head throughout the day today, and afternoon highs will be topping out in the upper 70s with winds out of the southwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA app.
DC here for Folsom Lake Kia, where they make car shopping easy with a huge selection of new Kia models, low payments, and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, your trusted dealer in Folsom for over 25 years. FolsomLakeKia.com.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard. The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the only store in the world to be named the top 100 shop for 40 years straight. Yes, the only golf shop in the world. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is your unsurpassed spot to find the hottest golf gear, best pricing, and elite expertise. Try any club on the shelf on the driving range for free and let our staff show you everything you need to look and play better. You love golf. The Hagen Oaks team loves golf too. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80. Learn more at HagenOaks.com or 916-481-GOLF.
Tired of ads interrupting your favorite news podcasts? Good news. Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Stay up to date on everything newsworthy with podcasts like The Daily, Up First, and 5 Things Uninterrupted at Amazon.com/ad-free. Just head to Amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Don't miss Stoney's Rockin' Rodeo's Halloween bashes this weekend. That's right, Stoney has Halloween costume contests each night, including Sexiest, Scariest, and Best, and a superhero/villain contest this Sunday night. Winners get a dash for cash on the dance floor, free late night food, country dancing, and Halloween fun all weekend long. I'll see you on the dance floor.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
When is the best time to buy a new air conditioning system? Right now with Bell Brothers' end of summer clear-out sale. You'll get up to $2,700 off a top-of-the-line AC system. Plus, no payments or interest for 1 year for qualified buyers. Call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or go online to thenosurpriseguys.com because we only have a limited number of new top-of-the-line AC systems. And when they're gone, this offer is over. Need more info? Call us. Estimates and second opinions are always free. So call now for up to $2,700 off a new premium AC system. And no payments or interest for 1 year. Plus, if you call now, we'll throw in your choice of a free smart thermostat or indoor air purification system. But you have to call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or online at thenosurpriseguys.com. Remember, end of summer is the best time to buy and save on a new AC system. Thenosurpriseguys.com.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the only store in the world to be named a top 100 shop for 40 years straight. Yes, the only golf shop in the world. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is your unsurpassed spot to find the hottest golf gear, best pricing, and elite expertise. Try any club on the shelf on the driving range for free and let our staff show you everything you need to look and play better. You love golf. The Hagen Oaks team loves golf too. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue, Business 80. Learn more at hagenoaks.com or 916-481-GOLF.
At the law offices of Dale R. Gomes, we understand that when you're facing a crisis, you need more than just a lawyer. You need a team. Our dedicated attorneys work together, combining decades of experience to guide you through personal injury or criminal defense matters with care and expertise. We're committed to supporting you every step of the way, ensuring your voice is heard and your rights are protected. With offices in Sacramento and El Dorado County, reach out to the law offices of Dale R. Gomes today, 916-999-9033, or online at dalegomslaw.com.
Sacktown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Sam Morrell returns to the Crest for a night of nonstop laughs. And, of course, Sacktown Sports wants you in the building. All you have to do is hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now. Chris, looking for caller number 4 to score that pair of tickets. Check out Sam Morrell at the Crest Theater in beautiful downtown Sacramento next May, courtesy of Live Nation. For more information, visit sacktownsports.com, 916-339-1140. 916-339-1140, 916-339-1140. Wanted to play this sound for you, Chris, before we get into more Kings talk and the teams that are most likely to surprise you this season. This is from Shams. Now, yesterday, we have all the breakdowns. So yesterday, we talked about all of the players that got their extensions or didn't get their extensions. It was pretty early on, or I should say a couple, earlier this week or maybe last week, really, where it came out that Jonathan Kuminga and the Warriors were not going to land on an extension, really, because Jonathan Kuminga wants to get paid more money and wants to get paid as much as some of the other guys that got drafted around the same time as him. And the Warriors are simply saying, yeah, you're not worth that yet. So Jonathan Kuminga is going to hit free agency. And as we know, Shams, a big reason he's so connected is because of the relationships that he has with these players and these agents. And Jonathan Kuminga, there was a situation where the article came out. He said the article wasn't true. This was a couple years ago as far as his playing time and things like that. So there's been some back and forth, but here is Shams Charania kind of talking about what Jonathan Kuminga and his camp believes he could be. Here it is.
So Jonathan Kuminga, I'm told, will not be getting an extension done. He believes strongly in his play. He really feels he has a chance to be a star caliber player. You look at Pascal Siakam, as well as guys like Kawhi Leonard, players that he could have the trajectory of. The Warriors do want to see how this plays out, and they are very keeping a key eye on that fit between him and Steve Kerr this upcoming season. And if he plays well, they want to pay him.
So Kawhi Leonard, and we laugh, Chris, not just about other teams, but when people bring up Keegan Murray and Jason Tatum, right? We we got to be realistic with this stuff, people. And Jonathan Kuminga, look, maybe I'm a big Jonathan Kuminga guy. You know this, Chris, but everybody thinks they're going to take a Kawhi Leonard type leap. I just don't necessarily see it. You know what I saw, Chris, from the dudes on the Light Years pod with Sam and Andy? I saw Sam say that in reality, Jonathan Kuminga should be forming his game around an Aaron Gordon type guy. But nobody wants to be that. That's not sexy. That's not cool. That's not what you want to put on Instagram, right? You want to show your bag and things like that.
That's right.
But you want to be Kawhi Leonard, maybe it'll work out. We'll see. He's essentially betting on himself. We talked about it yesterday, Chris. Who will regret this more, the Warriors or Jonathan Kuminga? Maybe he balls out for them, and, I should have been even higher on him. Who knows? But I do think it's kind of crazy to have to, whoever let him or went to Shams Charania to say, hey, we're going, we want this out there that we could take a Jonathan Kuminga or take a Kawhi Leonard type leap. I think it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely crazy, especially, coming from me who isn't the Jonathan Kuminga guy. I think it's definitely a stretch, and he's not the only person that's ever compared somebody to Kawhi. I mean, I feel like Jaylen Brown got compared.
He's a Pascal Siakam as well. I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, I just want to focus a little bit on the Kawhi one because, funny enough, and I think we got it, but last season during the summer league. Here you go. You might have not been around when this happened. Here's a little bit of audio I just sent, Nate.
It was almost like silent. Like everyone could just feel how good he is. And after the scrimmage, obviously that's something we expect from him at this level in summer league, and it's something we're pushing him to do. After the scrimmage, one of the scouts pulled me aside and was like, the closest thing I've seen to what I just saw was Kawhi in year 2. And he's like, it wasn't that Keegan is Kawhi or Kawhi is Keegan, but the step from rookie season, like, oh, you got a pretty good rookie. I remember. So, like, holy smokes, this guy could be exceptional.
Yeah. So it's a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's just what you say when somebody's like okay for their first 2 years, but you like want them to be better later. It's like no. But Kawhi Leonard, he did this, and so I see a similar thing. It's just. Paul George, funny enough, is another one. People will do it. Oh, yeah, you look at his numbers year 1, and then year 3, though, is really – and I think it's just, it's just something that all these coaches – because it's the model that everyone's looking for. It's the 3-and-D guy who can also be a superstar but, be a Scottie Pippen on the other end.
Right.
It's just a cliche that's clearly used way too much.
Way too much, man. It's just enough. Yeah.
There's one Kawhi Leonard. There's one Kawhi Leonard. There's I guess you could say he's a variant of Scottie Pippen, but these guys aren't just like it's not Danny Green. Okay, you can't just find 3-and-D guy, or you can find 3-and-D guys. What Kawhi Leonard does is not very it's just not something that happens. You guys don't just develop into a Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard has hands the size of a basketball. Mm-hmm. Like there's so many things that make Kawhi able to be what he is. I will say now on the other end of things, Kuminga definitely is an athletic freak. And if anybody is going to be able to do a version of Kawhi, like that kind of profile does fit for Kuminga, but I think it's more just at some point, can I see it? Like, can I actually see the Kawhi stuff on the floor before we go out there and just say he's going to change his game? Because he's not a defensive player.
Can he just be a sexier combination of Aaron Gordon, Pascal Siakam? Is that more realistic?
I think those guys might be a little bit beefier than he is.
Not Pascal.
Yeah,
Aaron Gordon.
Pascal,
yes.
I wouldn't say is beefy, but he's, I think, just a bigger body. Like, he's 6'9". Kuminga, I don't know. Kuminga to me moves more like a wing. I mean, it's not what I would tell him to do, but I do think he's more of like a Giannis build than a smaller version of Giannis, because again, there's only one Giannis. But like, to me, that's more of the profile he fits, just also based off of how he plays the game. Like, I don't think he's naturally a shooter. I think he's somebody who's a slasher who has crazy athletic ability. And since he's on the Warriors, I mean, they're obviously heavily prioritizing him shooting, which is going to be good for his development. I'm just not sure if it's like Davion Mitchell. I'm just not sure, even if he takes and practices as many threes as possible, I think there's just a ceiling on how good of a shooter he's going to be.
NBA team most likely to surprise you this season. Will you be surprised at the answers from Chris and myself? Stiles and Watkins, Sacramento Sports.
The Sacramento Kings open their season this Thursday against Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Tip at 7 p.m.
Fans on their feet.
Listen to every Kings game all season long.
On your home of the Sacramento Kings.
Sacktown Sports 1140.
Tesla, keeping it real to you. Saturday, November 9th, the venue at Thunder Valley. Tesla, live. The multi-platinum rock band returns with special guest, Fuel. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Tesla, keeping it real to you.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
October is ending, but I want to keep the fall fun going. So I shop Kohl's lowest prices of the season. I save 30% on top active brands like Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. Then I got my kids some boots for under $22. Scored 50% off Food Network baking must-haves and earned Kohl's cash. Yep, it doesn't get better than Kohl's. Flex Styles offers in October 27th. Coupons do not apply to Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. See store or Kohl's account for details.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
The first big sale of the year on the all-new 2025 Silverado is on at Maida Chevy.
With $8,000 off MSRP after rebate to every new 2025 half-ton LT, RST, LTZ, and High Country in stock at Maida Chevy.
And Maida Chevy has the largest selection of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area.
$8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing. DC Summit represents 103124. Source internet search and 1724.
The presidential general election is November 5th. All registered voters will receive their ballot in the mail. Check to make sure you're registered correctly at elections.saccounty.gov or call toll-free 800-762-8019.
This is Sacktown Sports.
Congrats to our winner, Nate. Got a name?
Dean Smith. Dean.
Wow. Dean Smith. You know what that reminds me of? And Kyle's not in there anymore. I age myself. When you would walk into a store and the caller ID, they would show you that the home phone had caller ID. You know who would be on the phone on that little screen, the fake screen? Dean Smith.
Not John Doe?
Or John Smith.
Or John's. Yeah. Those are like, yeah.
But I like Dean Smith.
Yeah. And, I didn't mean to say his whole name. So sorry, Dean.
No, it's.
I like Dean. I like Dean as
when you're named after a legend. I mean, I feel like it's okay to say your full name.
Yeah. Deans are there, Alex.
I just won't give out his address or phone number.
Yeah, now you sound like Sam Mitchell from NBA TV.
Right.
Oh man, yeah, that was not on purpose.
This thing is next May, so Dean just puts it on the calendar and
that's what I would
just locking it down.
This is a behind the scenes combo.
A lot can change. I mean, you could have a child.
You could
A lot
forget.
changes.
Like,
well, that's where we come in.
Yeah.
Promotions calls you when we get the tickets.
Right.
Which will probably be.
You
about
could have
2
a
months
completely different life. Dean might
Probably
not even be in
might not even
California.
live in California.
Be dead.
Well, okay. That was definitely
someone
not,
had to say.
No.
The Shanahan perspective. Sorry.
I'm just going to let you sit with that.
Well, it's dead air. We're not allowed to have that.
I'm going to let you sit with that. All right. Teams most likely to surprise you this season and statements that are most likely to surprise you out of Nate's mouth. Let's start here, Chris. I'm going to go with the San Antonio Spurs for my team most likely to surprise us this season. I think I saw their projection was 39.5 wins, something like that, maybe less than that. People are talking about the Spurs possibly tanking for one Cooper Flagg or Ace Bailey. I've seen they're doing the thing now where Ace Bailey might be the number one pick because we've talked about Cooper Flagg too much. But I don't know, Chris. We've seen, I like to joke about John Taffer and Bar Rescue, and people said Joe Flacco should just go to teams and do team rescue. That's kind of what Chris Paul has been. The OKC, I didn't think they had any shot of making the playoffs, and they had a couple nice runs with Chris Paul. And he's actually the one place it didn't really work out for CP3 and this kind of new role that he's been in is with the Warriors. Yep. And, part of that was he was unable to stay healthy, but I think he's reinvigorated out there in San Antonio, and Harrison Barnes has another lease on life out there. And obviously Victor Wembanyama is going to take a huge leap. I'm not saying that they're going to make the playoffs. I'm just saying they definitely aren't going to be as bad as what people think. And I think they crack 40 wins for sure.
I mean, yeah, it's a good bet to bet on Wemby. I mean, he looks insane. The second half of last year, I think he was averaging over 20 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists per game in the last 20 games of the season. So he clearly took a leap to end the year. We saw him make the Olympic run this summer as well, making it all the way to the championship game or to the gold medal game. I definitely could see that team that pretty much is bringing back a lot of the same guys. They add Stephon Castle as well. They bring in a veteran like HB. I think that they're going to be a really tough team on a lot of nights. We saw the Kings play the Spurs last year, and the Spurs almost won. And if we remember correctly, that's the game where JaVale McGee, after talked to the locker room and said, we can't be happy just beating the Spurs. And I do think that this year is going to be the year where the Spurs probably win those games. There's probably a lot of games last year without watching a ton, without knowing definitely. I would imagine the Spurs are probably in a good helping of games, but we're left with Doug McDermott, Zach Collins, a one-handed Jeremy Sohan, and, put in your favorite random Julian Champagny or whatever.
Devin Vassell,
sure. Why not? Devin Vassell, actually really good. Keldon Johnson, too. They just have a lot of solid pieces that have been in the league long enough, and it feels like they're at that point where I think Kings fans have seen their teams at a couple different times where it's like, okay, we have this collection of young guys. They're not rookies or second-year guys anymore. They should probably start to look like an actual NBA team, even if it is, like you said, just 500. Like, just be around 500.
Their win total projection, 35.5.
I think that's what, like the Utah Jazz, I want to say last year were around that number. So if you want to say, I think that's doable.
Yeah.
I definitely think that's doable. Like, I think the Jazz were a scrappy team last year and they ended up, definitely towards the end. And the thing is too, who knows, like maybe once the college basketball season gets rolling, maybe they do say, would be pretty great.
Right.
Pairing Victor
That's
Wembanyama
true.
with the Cooper Flag.
The rotations just switch up a little bit.
Maybe all of a sudden Joel Embiid's quotes are echoed by Victor Wembanyama. He's like, it's so early in my career. Why should I run back-to-backs? Why not start now? And maybe there's a chance that they see, much like your Raiders, maybe they get through the season and Chris Paul, much like last year, gets hurt early in the year and they're saying, look, what are we doing? Like, we're not doing anything besides making Wemby happier this season. I'm sure it would make him even happier if we had another star to put next to him. I could see it. I just wonder where it ends up being. And actually, the Jazz had 31 wins last year, so they would be better than the Jazz.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But the Jazz also let the bottom fall out at the end of the year.
And who was your surprise team or team that could surprise us?
My surprise team is a team not necessarily on the side of the spectrum of yours, where the Spurs are one of the worst teams in the West last year, and you're saying they're going to get to a level of competency. I'm picking a good team that I think might actually be great, at least during the regular season. I like the Cleveland Cavs this year. 48.5 wins is where their win total is set at. They brought back the same cast of characters they brought last year.
New coach,
which I think is really important. They clearly didn't like JB Bickerstaff, or I should say Donovan Mitchell clearly did not like JB Bickerstaff. I was just reading up during the break about the Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell relationship, because if we remember during the summer, Darius Garland had some interest, or some quotes were attributed to Darius Garland that essentially said, it's either him or me. And they kept Donovan Mitchell. They signed him to a 3-year extension, and Darius Garland is still on the team.
Yeah.
So it seems like essentially what it was mainly is that Garland him and Donovan Mitchell are cool off the court. It is more of just a on the floor. We don't know if our styles mesh, but it seems like Darius Garland has completely flipped his whole thought process, and it sounds like he really just wanted to see if Donovan was committed, and now that he is committed to the team, it seems like there might have been a little bit of a contract year Donovan Mitchell going on last year and was a little bit looking out for himself. A big part of this projection, too, I've buried the lead completely. I think Evan Mobley is going to be insane this year. I've seen some of
Kawhi leap.
Now, I know I can't. Yes, Kawhi. Exactly, a Kawhi leap. I know I'm the same person who said, like, I'm not paying attention to anything that happens in Kings preseason, but Evan Mobley looks like a different person in this preseason. And it's almost more so like the Keegan Murray. It would be where I would tell Kings fans, if you want an example. It's like how Keegan this summer or this preseason just looks stronger, looks more confident, looks more just comfortable, really, I think is the key thing. And Evan Mobley looks like the guy that I've been waiting for him to look like these past couple years. And the thing is, I mean, I don't even know how old he is these days, but I guarantee he's 23 years old. So I just think that he has a lot more to show, and I think this season's going to be the one where he breaks out, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's an all-star this year.
Also, Chris, Darius Garland, there was a lot going on for him last season. He talked about losing his joy for basketball. He said, I sort of lost my joy for basketball. Darius Garland was suffering a broken jaw in the 2023-2024 season. He had that eye laceration situation as well. He went on to say that joy is back. Darius Garland on being happy to reunite with the team before the 2024-2025 season. So, yeah, maybe you're right, Chris. I mean, Bleacher Report had them a 3 seed.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's about where I'm saying also. Like, I don't think that they're going to be better than the Celtics or anything like that. I think a 2 or a 3 seed spot.
I think it's more so about what are they going to do in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's why.
And you know what?
I'm just saying regular season. Postseason, we'll see.
Donovan Mitchell, I mean, we talk about the, I guess not the hate, but I guess a lack of respect that De'Aaron Fox gets. Donovan Mitchell never gets talked about.
Not on the Olympic team either. Not a Pete.
Not on the Olympic team. He's had more playoff runs than De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
He did the slam dunk contest. We kind of know him from Louisville as well. I know he's in Cleveland, but I guess he just doesn't do podcasts. It was the whole he's the Spider-Man, and that he did a little bit of marketing with that when he'll do a commercial when a new Spider-Man comes out during the NBA season, then we never hear from him again. What do we do? Now I'm actually getting worked up. What is Donovan Mitchell? What We just listed off the top point guards a couple days ago, and I where was he even listed?
No, I think he's listed more as a 2.
So Darius Garland's your point guard?
Yeah.
So where is he with 2s? Is he better than Devin Booker? No.
He's probably he's probably listed in the top 5. I would guess. Yeah, I would guess so. Without having it in front of me.
Where was that? Who was that outlet that we had? The top point guards and then the top shooting guards.
I think might have been CBS. CBS likes themselves a list.
Because I don't know what to do with Donovan Mitchell.
Let's see here. I'm just trying to see
if I can
it's
making me upset, but it is.
Here we go. Here, this is just, and we're not taking this as gospel or anything, but these are just a list of small shooting guards in the NBA. This is from fadeawayworld.net. They have it literally tier 1 through tier 5. Tier 1 for them is Devin Booker, it's Anthony Edwards, and it's Donovan Mitchell. They have the tier 2, and it's a stretch for tier 2. Really lack of depth at shooting guard. I guess it's kind of to your point of like, what is this person? What aren't they? Kyrie Irving is listed in their tier 2, Tyler Hero, Desmond Bane, and then it gets really squirrely. Terry Rozier, DeJounte Murray, and
this
Derek
is tier
White.
2.
Those are their tier 2s. And so tier 3 is Anthony Simons, Malik Monk, Austin Reeves, Jalen Green, Cam Thomas, Josh Giddey, Jalen Suggs. Tier 4, for what it's worth, some other names that haven't been listed, kind of surprising. Dante DiVincenzo, tier 4. Klay Thompson, tier 4. Malik Beasley, tier 4. KCP, tier 4. Jaden Ivey, tier 4. Did I make this list? Because
KCP?
Tier 5 is Gary Trent Jr. Two names on tier 2. Or tier 5. I'm sorry. This is the last tier of shooting guards. Tier 5, Gary Trent Jr. and our boy, Brandon Pajemski.
Oh, stop it. Nate, you said
worse than Jaden Ivey is crazy.
Yeah, that's
worse
insane.
Than Malik Beasley is crazy.
Nate, you said he was ranked 19th for what?
This is Donovan Mitchell, CBS's top before the 24-25 season.
Okay.
Top players, number 19.
Top players?
Wow.
Yeah. So right next to Kawhi Leonard.
In between,
why is Kawhi trolling us
in
today?
between Kawhi and Paul George. It's kind of fitting. And then
where's De'Aaron Fox?
This was another list where the
CBS.
boys are back to back. Domas and Fox, 27, 28. 27, 28. Fox at 27.
I mean, look, he has more. I just don't ever hear anybody talk about.
No,
like, literally,
nobody talks about.
Nobody talks.
I mean,
about
to be fair, he's been in Utah and Cleveland.
This was in
I don't know.
September 17th. So I think we did.
They talk about Shea.
I feel like we did talk about this.
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
They let's see where they have Shea, because that's always
Probably
the guy we
top
always
5 guaranteed.
6.
Yeah, 6. But again, like, what do you do with you think 6?
Yeah.
Number 4.
This is crazy.
Luka at 3.
That's
Embiid
my
at 5.
I want hot takes, Chris. Biggest letdown. I don't think I got the stones to take OKC or Shea, but I want to because it's getting a little crazy.
Hey, we have surprises. We can do the bad surprises tomorrow.
All right. Well, we will do that when we return. Top stories at the top of the hour. We have a new pizza guy. Stiles and Watkins, Sacramento Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding ball movement by Sacramento.
Every triple, every jam, every Kings win.
Sabonis with the jam over the Joker. He's got the 3-point shot.
Get your Kings fix all season long.
Right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text BODY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BODY to 42424. That's BODY to 42424.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Despite having no experience, Gavin Newsom made Jessica Morse his, quote, wildfire specialist. The result?
Under Newsom and Morse, insurance rates and utility bills skyrocketed. Millions of dollars were slashed from the state's fire prevention budget, and they were even caught lying about their record, while millions of acres burned and families lost their homes. Now Gavin has chosen Jessica Morse again, this time to run for Congress. We have a better choice. Kevin Kiley. As our congressman, Kevin Kiley has worked across party lines to secure millions for wildfire protection and expand water supplies. And Kevin Kiley's bill to protect Lake Tahoe will bring up to $415 million home to our district to reduce the threat of fires and restore the ecosystem of the lake, delivering results and making a difference. Let's keep Kevin Kiley working for us.
I'm Kevin Kiley. I approve this message. Paid for by Kevin Kiley for Congress.
Get ready for an incredible night as the iconic Little River Band hits the stage at the Nugget Casino Resort Grand Ballroom. Join us Saturday, November 16th at the Nugget Grand Ballroom for an unforgettable concert experience. You'll hear all your favorites in this must-see event of classic rock. The Little River Band live at the Nugget Casino Resort Grand Ballroom. For tickets and info, visit nuggetcasinoresort.com.
When an overwhelmed injury victim calls Ashton or Price, we immediately remove their legal burden and introduce them to the very best medical care in the region. They focus on their health, and we handle all the rest. When they reach the end of their medical journey and are reunited with happiness and hope, we unleash our decades of legal experience to obtain maximum compensation. We are real, local, experienced litigators and snappy dressers too. Consultation's free, and there's never a fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Shop Big O Tires now through November 3rd and fall into savings with up to $120 instant savings on 4 select in-stock tires with installation purchase. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation required, disposal fees extra, not valid with other offers. See Big O dealer for details.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Now here's what I want you all to do for me.
Sacktown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sacktown Sports and subscribe.
It is time. It's 1 o'clock on the dot in my drop top. Thought Nate was going to go with the raindrop drop top there. Top stories at the top of the hour. I think Nate has muted himself after what he said about Dean, so maybe it's a good thing.
I think I just doubled down too hard, Dean. Sorry.
Yeah, you did.
You never know.
Well, the Kings are doubling down. 3 on
tripling down.
The Pizza Guys. Here is the audio. We have a new pizza guy, Chris, and I'll let you break this down more. You have the history of it. But Malik Monk is a new pizza guy. Here is the sound.
I'm Malik Monk, and I'm a pizza guy. Get 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas for only $20. Pair your favorite 2 toppings like our cup and crisp pepperoni and all natural black olives, or our sizzling Italian sausage and fresh sliced bell peppers. Did someone say cheese pull? Pick and choose from your favorite toppings that will satisfy the whole family, only at Pizza Guys. Order the 2 for $20 special today.
There we go.
They got Moke too. They got Moke and Monk.
Buried the lead
Dude,
there.
Moke has like 800 jobs around Sacramento.
Really, not even around Sacramento, just in general.
It's crazy. He's the Davis PA.
Is he really? I don't think I knew that.
Well, he was last year. I'm assuming he was this year. He's got his thing with the Republic. Not to pocket watch the man, but
he's also
congrats.
Heavily featured on NBA 2K.
Oh yes, he is.
Yeah.
That's great. That's good. Alan's a little jealous, but it's
crazy.
cool.
Hey, he's showing me the model.
That's true.
Moke is your guy.
He is my guy.
He's so nice. You guys were chatting it up at the Republic game.
He's my guy.
Besties, you wouldn't even look at me.
Well, you're not my guy.
I'm
Like,
secondary.
yeah,
It's literally as simple as that.
you can't help me.
I was that Dave. That is. Well, I got this. This one exists.
That's
It
actually
wasn't for me.
That's your biggest contribution to this show.
To anything ever. I'm worthless. I'm replaceable. It's a fact.
This guy is unhinged right now.
I don't even. Whatever.
From the commercial, the first comment, not trying to sound hella fat, but when Isaiah Thomas was the pizza guy, it was 2 large 2-topping pizzas for $22.
That's awesome. Inflation, dude. That was like 15 years ago.
Oh my God. He says
damn
inflation after that.
Oh my
Maybe
God.
not 15.
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
think it's
that's very
possible.
funny.
Oh my gosh. I don't think it's possible to not sound fat. Remember
not to sound hella fat,
what
but
deals happened.
It was 2 large pizzas with 2 toppings.
When was the last time Isaiah Thomas was a Sacramento King? Because to remember specifically a pizza discount from, I don't know, 8 years ago, that's crazy.
He was juiced when it came back. He was juiced when it came back.
I'm just glad Malik's
funny.
getting money. We talked with Malik at Media Day, and he said that there's a lot of people who promised him a lot of things and have gone suspiciously quiet. I'm glad the pizza guys is not one of them.
So this weekend he did a meet and greet, and I was watching Sean.
Yeah, that's right.
Sean Cunningham. I was watching Sean Cunningham's little interview with him afterwards, and Malik said a lot of people in line were saying, "Hey, we got you on some of those things." So he was getting some phone numbers to get.
Yeah, I was like, this man needs to take notes.
Yeah.
2014.
2014 is the last time I
so
said
10 years ago.
And this guy remembered. You don't want to sound hella fat though.
That's insane.
Not to sound hella fat.
I mean, I have.
I'm gonna say that
pizza
before
today.
DoorDash from now on.
Not to sound hella fat.
But can I house a pizza during a break like Nate? All right.
I did it during the show.
We got the pizza guy back, and Saquon was back in New York, and Saquon was balling out. But, guys, Saquon turned down an opportunity to really make things memorable. Could have had his career high, but he decided to, quote, let the young boys eat. Here's what he had to say to his coach, Nick Sirianni.
You're 13 yards away from your career high. I would love for you to get that, but that's up to you. I just don't want. I'm going to take out all the starters if they don't score.
Let them eat.
You sure?
Yeah, good. I promise.
I'll listen to you. I want you to do it if you want to do it.
So I'd rather see the young boys eat.
What a guy, man.
What a guy.
Not to sound hella fat, but
Not to sound hella fat, but
eat.
I want to see the young boys eat.
I mean, it's cool. I don't want to put on the tinfoil hat, but I do wonder if he knew he was mic'd up.
I wouldn't care.
Why would you not go in, is my question.
Do you
think
that's what
you
I'm saying.
really
I don't think the
wanted-
mic'd up matters.
I mean,
no one's
yeah.
going to talk about this in a week. He could have had his career high.
Yeah, I think it's very strange.
At MetLife.
To rub it in their face. Oh, y'all don't want me? I'll put
That
a
would
career
have
high
been a
on you.
huge storyline.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I think he's tripping.
I'm all good for great teammates and all that stuff normally, but no, this is like the perfect revenge game opportunity, and they deserve it. Just get the yards.
You know what that reminds me? It reminds me of, and I wonder when there's a situation when coaches do this stupid stuff and they say, oh, well, they'll be back, or the game didn't call for it.
Right.
And I know
the Paul Skeens excuse.
Well, the Paul Skeens excuse. And I'm thinking about Clay. One of Clay's crazy nights where it was either a bunch of threes or his career high, something nuts like that. And I specifically remember him getting taken out because the game was kind of out of touch or out of reach, and Clay never got back to whatever that was, and he didn't set a record or anything like that. I just don't understand when coaches do that. You have no clue if these guys will be back in a position like that, and that wasn't the coach. And I think it's happened with Steph plenty of times, but that wasn't the coach specifically there. Nick Sirianni says, I'll put you back in, and
look at Nick Sirianni doing something.
Yeah.
How about that?
Right. It was weird
that might
to
be
hear him.
mistaken as coaching for a minute.
It was weird to hear him
Watch
be a
out.
good coach. I was not.
Wait a
I had to listen
second.
to the audio a couple times.
Are you sure that wasn't Big Dom?
Well,
Could've been.
Big Dom probably told him, hey, you should go over there. He almost has his career high. LeBron James, as we look at the highest paid players, guys, talk about pocket watching like Nate. LeBron James, 11-year streak of being the highest paid NBA player has ended. He falls to number 2 behind Steph Curry. No players from defending champion Celtics among the top 15. So here is the list. We will give you the top 15. And let's do it in salary, Chris. Okay. Zion Williamson, $36 million. Shai Gilgeous, $35 million, but he has the higher total earnings. Well, we'll do total earnings. That makes more sense. Luka Doncic, so we have Zion at 52.7, Shai at 53.9, Luka at 55, and Luka is still going to get a super bag too. This is just one of the bags that Luka will get. Kawhi Leonard, 56.7 to sit on the couch. Jimmy Butler, 56.8 to wear a wig and tweet. Bradley Beal, 57.7 to play some of the games. Paul George, 57.7 to not play in the game opener, the season opener. Devin Booker, 58.2. Nikola Jokic, 59.4. Joel Embiid, 59.4 to not play back-to-backs. Damian Lillard, 66.8 to be injured and put out really good rap albums. Kevin Durant, 97.9.
What a jump.
Now we have the jump. Kevin Durant, because all he does is hoop. Got no complaints there. Giannis, 103.8 to split that with his 3 brothers. LeBron James, $133.7 million. Huge jump. And the chef, cooking up more money than you could literally win in the lottery once they take it from taxes. $155.8 million.
$100 million in endorsements, too.
$100 million. And he is whooping everybody. LeBron is second,
close.
$85 million. That's a little bit surprising Steph is winning by that much.
Well, I think that's kind of where maybe the overseas market starts to play into hands. You know, LeBron I won't say he hasn't marketed himself overseas, but we just saw Steph and De'Aaron go on tour in China. I think that has a lot to do with it. The fact that the Warriors are an international brand, and of course the Lakers are too, but Steph singularly made the Warriors into the machine that they are today. And I think there's not a person who likes the Warriors but doesn't like Steph Curry. There are tons of people who might like the Lakers but not really love LeBron James in that same way.
Apple TV has announced that it will capture and produce a documentary on the 2024 Yankees-Dodgers World Series. I think it'll be pretty good, Chris, no matter who wins. I probably won't watch if the Dodgers win unless it's a really, really good series and goes to Game 7. I don't know how well it'll do. I think people will watch the games, but yeah, it'd have to be something spectacular in order for people to want to run it back. People don't just run back random World Series, even if you're fans of the team. Well, maybe the Yankees and Dodgers fans will, but I don't know about casual baseball fans unless something specific happens, a la the Red Sox coming back from 3-0, something like that. And last but not least, Anthony Edwards hanging out with Chris's boy Justin Jefferson as they remade basically what Randy Moss and what Randy Moss and Kevin Garnett did years ago. They remade that picture and they did a special for ESPN. They talk a lot about the 2 different games and 2 different sports, things like that. And Anthony Edwards, who is always a great soundbite, had this to say about what will happen if he wins a ring within the next couple years. Here it is.
Yeah, I think it's easier, Football players can't go play basketball.
You crazy.
No way. I told my buddies, I said, if I win a ring in the next 3 to 4 years,
you're not going to football.
I'm going to play football.
No, you're not.
Chris, what do you think about that?
Ant is amazing. I believe him is what I would say. I think that if anybody is going to be seriously about it, I think Anthony Edwards would do it and wouldn't think twice about it, and he would probably think it's super normal.
I'm going to sound like the old man here, but I am curious, and it's not that I mind it, but I am curious where sports are going as far as these legends. We just talked about the 3 geezers with LeBron, Steph, and Kevin Durant. Let's look at where the league is right now, Chris. And, obviously you have the Mamba mentality, Kobe mentality, Jordan, but Jordan did leave for a second, come back. You win as much as you can. You look at the guys that are playing right now in the greats, okay? Because Jason Tatum is up there, but a lot of people wouldn't even put him in the same tier. You got Jokic, who cares about his horse racing. Who knows how much longer he's going to play.
$8 million in endorsements, by the way, for Jokic.
That's
kind
great.
Of crazy.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Though.
Well, I think he's perfectly okay with that.
It's the horses.
Luka, who's also kind of said, I'm not going to play for a very long time. You have those guys. You have Anthony Edwards saying, I'll go play football. Okay. So I'm just not really sure who is going to be the next guy that just has this thing on lock. Giannis, who has kind of alluded to not playing that long either. Who is the next guy that's just going to sit there and say, I am the next Steph. I am the next KD. I am the next LeBron. I'm going to play. Ball is life. I'm going to play for 20 years, whatever it is. Seems like a lot of these young bucks, whether it be because of the podcast or other stuff going on, Chris, they don't want to sit. They don't want to play forever like they used to.
Well, I don't think Anthony Edwards at all is saying that he's going to stop playing basketball. I think he's just saying he's going to do both. And I think, if anything, that adds to what you're saying. I mean, he wants to be – I don't think it has to do with him being the biggest star possible, but if he tries to do a thing that hasn't been done since Deion and Bo Jackson, I mean – and even then, they didn't do it. Nobody, to my knowledge, I know
football basketball combo.
Yeah, football basketball combo. I know. Oh man, I want to call him Cam Ward, but that's not right. He was, I believe, a Houston quarterback back in the 90s. I think he was drafted
Nate
by
Robinson
the Knicks.
Tried.
If I'm not mistaken, he won a Heisman. I swear. There's probably a ton of people yelling at the radio right now.
There's only one gentleman that's played in both the NFL and NBA professionally. His name is Bud Grant.
Oh, shout out Bud Grant. Vikings all-time best coach. Won championships with the Minneapolis Lakers and then went on to go coach the Vikings and would not wear any long sleeves on the sideline as they were playing outdoors. So shout out Bud Grant. But yeah, I think it's pretty unheard of. I know LeBron talked about it earlier in his career, him playing tight end. I think if any human could do it, it's Anthony Edwards.
Well, it's not going to be Draymond Green. I know you saw that tape from.
Yeah, that was
Michigan
terrible.
State. Yeah,
that was absolutely
not good. All right, we're still talking cash on the other side. Players who got extended this offseason. Who got overpaid, and who do you believe in? Stiles and Watkins, Sacramento Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes here for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Now that fall is here, now is the perfect time to head to Stockton and check out a new Mercedes-Benz. I had the opportunity just last week to drive an all-new S-Class 550, and let me tell you, it was a sweet ride. The moment I hopped in, I felt like I was in a world of luxury. From the steering wheel to the seat cooling, and even the power of the engine, I was impressed. And then, of course, when I hopped in my Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV, I felt the same thing. So hurry in and take advantage of the Mercedes-Benz incentive bonuses up to $15,000. And they have tons of pre-owned vehicles as well, including C-Class sedans, GLC SUVs, and a whole lot more. Take it from me, you won't be disappointed. So take the short drive down I-5 to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton or online at mbofstockton.com.
Sacktown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
There are some hot takes about Brock Purdy. We're going to get into more of that tomorrow. But, yeah, people are overreacting. It's a little bit of an overreaction. Chris, name you were thinking from the 530, Charlie Ward.
Yes, Charlie Ward.
Charlie Ward.
Won a Heisman and then played, he played 11 years in the NBA after winning the Heisman. Never played in the NFL, though.
Will Anthony Edwards be able to do it? I mean, you talk about marketing, Chris. If he wants to do it, they'll give him a shot. they will definitely give him a shot.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of if the Wolves are going to let him. I mean, I don't know if I would let him do it. It feels obviously like a massive risk. And then, I think the thing that allowed Dion to do it is that he was on the Falcons and on the Braves as well. Yeah, I mean, you have to make it work. Like Anthony Edwards, is he going to play for the Vikings, or what exactly are they going to do to make it work? Because obviously we're halfway through the NFL season and opening night for basketball is tonight. So
yeah,
it'd be a bit of a logistical nightmare to make it work.
A better Caesar Sports put $850 down to win $510,000 on the Charlotte Hornets to win the Eastern Conference. Well, brother, you should have just donated that money.
Yeah, why would you do
I don't know why people do that.
Like it's literally just wasting your money. Like you might as well just set it on fire.
You could have probably put down $850 to win, I don't know, $5K for them to make the playoffs.
I mean, even to make the play-in tournament.
Play-in.
Like, I mean, there's a lot of different things you could. I mean, if you believe that, you might as well, put something on Miles Bridges comeback player of the year. Like, there's so many other things that if you believe that, yeah. I mean, it's we do prop talk every day, so maybe we're a little bit more advanced than your typical bettor, but it just seems to me like there's other ways of having that feeling that your team is going to do well without actually straight up doing that.
That's delusional.
Yeah,
should have just.
That's great.
We got Christmas around the corner. The
That's
people
it
that are
right
asking for,
come on,
donations. You should have just donated that money.
You should have.
Come on, that's ridiculous. Speaking of money, here are the players that got extended this offseason. Chris Cade Cunningham for the Detroit Pistons, #1 overall pick in 2021, 5 years, $224 million. Jalen Green, Houston Rockets, #2 overall pick in 2021, 3 years, $106 million. Evan Mobley with the Cavs, #3 pick in 2021. These are all from 2021. It was their time to get their moolah. Evan Mobley, 5 years, $224 million. Scotty Barnes, #4 pick in 2021, 5 years, $224 million. Jalen Suggs, 5th pick in 2021, 5 years, $150.5 million. Franz Wagner, Orlando Magic, #8 pick in 2021, 5 years, $224 million. Corey Kispert, Washington Wizards, #15 pick in 2021, 4 years, $54 million. Alperen Şengün, #16 pick, 5 years, $185 million. He was the 16th pick. Trey Murphy, New Orleans Pelicans, the 17th pick in 2021, 4 years, $112 million. Chris, and maybe I'm just because I'm seeing these numbers right in front of me, was 2021 a good draft year? Is it normal for this many guys to get that extension? Does it feel like 2021, and we can look at the full draft, but it feels like 2021 was a pretty good draft year for the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, you get all those players. I think some of them still have more questions than I think you would want. I don't know if I would call it a good one because I think you still kind of need the top end talent to hold it up. But I think we're still in a wait and see with a lot of these guys. And I feel like that's kind of more so the story. Like, which one of these guys do you feel best about their career? If I had to tell you one of these guys is going to be a Hall of Famer, who would be your pick?
Probably Franz.
And I think he's one of the answers for sure. He ends up getting, tied for the most money of all those guys. I think that's kind of the problem is Cade has been good when he's played, but he missed an entire season with a shin injury. And even then, I don't know if he's been the guy that necessarily people think he would have been. Like, I don't know if Cade Cunningham has shown necessarily that he can be the #1 on even a playoff team. I mean, that Detroit team is absolutely terrible. And I know to be a little bit cautious about saying things like that because we know that it's not just, especially here in Sacramento, it's not just one player. It is an entire situation that shouldn't come down just on one guy. But when you're the worst team in the NBA by far, it doesn't feel like Cade is really lifting that organization up. And I know it's really hard. It's a really, really tough task, but it just feels like he hasn't necessarily been, if you're doing like a list of the best #1 picks, I don't think he's top 5 in terms of like the last 10, 15 years. And, he's a good player, but you just don't know the answer. Evan Mobley, I'm hoping he takes the leap this year, but right now he's the second, probably third best player on that Cavs team. Scotty Barnes, he's shown moments, but then regressed. And even then kind of a similar story. Yeah. All-Star last season, kind of has a bit of a similar story with Cade Cunningham. I think he's probably shown the most number 1 potential. And then there's Franz, who I think is just a really, really solid player and probably is the one. I mean, he's the one who's been on the team with the most success. And I think he's been a huge contributor to it. It's a good draft. I just think I don't really know. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if in 3 years,
draft.
like if these guys
Did you say
end up
Şengün?
being overpaid. And Şengün's another one where it's interesting how good you think he's going to be. Even in Houston, it seems like they go back and forth on how good they think he's going to be. A lot of people are bringing up how good the Rockets were when they didn't have Şengün in the lineup last year after he got hurt. So there's a lot of and we know that they didn't offer him the max money, just like they didn't offer Jalen Green. So, the people who see him every day and that Houston team is begging for young talent. I kind of don't know if any of these guys are definitely going to emerge.
Couple guys that I wanted to mention as well. Jalen Johnson for the Atlanta Hawks, untouchable.
Yeah.
Jalen Johnson, good for 3 years,
now.
$150 million.
$50 million a year.
Jaden Hardy for the Mavericks, 3 years, $18 million. Chris, you missed my boy, Moses Moody, 3 years, $36 million. Here's some notable players that did not get signed. Santi Aldama, which I think this guy's good, man. I think he's good. Josh Giddey, he wants his money, number 6 pick in 2021. Jonathan Kuminga, number 7 pick in 2021. He wants his money. And Davion Mitchell from the Raptors, number 9 pick in 2021. Was the Josh Giddey thing a little bit surprising since they traded for him?
No, I mean, why let the market dictate what Josh Giddey's going to be worth? Because I think that there's a chance that he's not, if he enters free agency, his number is going to be a lot lower than what it would be if you just throw it at him.
Yeah, they're probably prepared to match, but why not? Right? They were going to move off of Caruso. They've been talking about it for years. What's up?
I don't think we said it on the show, but Kevin Huerter was a full participant in practice today.
Oh.
And according to Domantas Sabonis, who just spoke with the media, Kevin Huerter ran with the starters today.
Oh!
Although Mike Brown mixed and matched lineup.
Well, when we were listening to Frankie, who was on the morning show for about an hour and a half, he did say that Mike Brown really does like, we know he really likes Kevin Huerter in that starting spot. Wow. The tangled web we weave. There are going to be a lot of people not happy about that, Chris. But we are all over it. Great job by you, Chris. We will continue to monitor that situation. But now we're about to monitor what's about to happen tonight.
That's right.
Prop talk, NBA style. Let's cook. Stiles and Watkins, Sacramento Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm meteorologist Kelly Curran in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We are looking at decreasing clouds as we head throughout the day today, and afternoon highs will be topping out in the upper 70s with winds out of the southwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA app.
DC here, and if you've been thinking about a new car, you got to see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia. You can always count on low payments and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, and guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Don't miss Stoney's Rockin' Radio's Halloween bashes this weekend. That's right, Stoney has Halloween costume contests each night, including Sexiest, Scariest, and Best, and a superhero/villain contest this Sunday night. Winners get a dash for cash on the dance floor, free late night food, country dancing, and Halloween fun all weekend long. I'll see you on the dance floor.
Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing strategies that deliver results. On your next campaign, aim higher. Go to aimyourdigital.com and get started today. aimyourdigital.com.
Thunder, feel the thunder. It ignites something inside of you. Lightning and the thunder. Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it. Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Did you know that Wendy's has any size soft drinks for just $1? Yeah, any size, anytime. Like $1 Coke, $1 Sprite, or even $1 strawberry Fanta. Okay, could we maybe switch up the sound effect, please? 'Cause I'm losing it. Wow, no, not that. Any size soft drink for just $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. A la carte only. Not valid in a combo. Exclusions apply.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sacktown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting sacktownsports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
DC here, and if you've been thinking about a new car, you gotta see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia. You can always count on low payments and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
Maida Chevy sends you $8,000 off MSRP on every new 2025 half-ton Silverado LT, RST, LTZ, and High Country in stock after rebates. All of them. Silverado savings on now at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See delivery details. Ends 10/31/24.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sacktown Sports.
Picks and prop talk. So I got to throw Nate under the bus here because I've never seen anything like this. We're about to get into prop talk here.
What'd I do?
So if you're just now listening, thank you for joining us. Whitey and Kyle Draper Drive Guys got you in about 30 minutes. Then Chris and I will come back for our Kings Roundtable. We are making sure everybody is getting that information out there. You can sign up online, sacktownsports.com. You can check out the building where Chris and I reside and handle our business, where Nate tries to steal our parking spots. You can see us today.
What?
You can hang out with us today, 5 to 6. Who will be the spiciest of them all during the roundtable? Whitey Gleason, Kyle Draper, Chris Watkins, Alan Stiles, Jason Ross, and maybe we'll get Carmichael Dave on a monitor or something like that. So you don't want to miss it. 5 o'clock. Gotta slide through and be there because we will be there having a good old time. Frankie Cardicelli is going to be there as well. Nate is going to be there as well. You don't have a choice. Nate is going to be there as well. Kyle Ledbetter is going to make an appearance too. So come on down.
He's working it.
To Sacktown Sports, and we're going to have a good old time. But Nate and Chris got pizza. Like I said, they've been eating this pizza since 11 o'clock.
I don't even remember that.
Okay.
11:30.
The pizza, it sits here. Then Chris says, hey, can you put it in the producer room, the board op room? We don't want it smelling here. Because then we don't want us to be the other ones where our lunch smells. Only Alan's lunch can smell.
Good smelling stuff.
It smells really
So
good.
Alan brings stinky lunches. 3 slices left. 3 hearty slices left. Kyle Ledbetter is back here
It's
preparing
been here all day.
for the round table. Kyle Ledbetter's been here all day. We know Emil Fergoso's already DoorDashed something else, so let's not talk about Emil Fergoso. Nate comes back in. He says, Chris, are you done with the pizza? Okay? 3 slices, full slices, sausage and pepperoni.
It's salami.
And salami.
I think there's some ham on there too.
And ham.
It was good.
Meat lovers.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, Chris, are you done with the pizza?
Mm-hmm.
Chris says, yeah, I'm done with the pizza. You know what this man if I even want to call him that, went to do?
Animal.
Yeah.
Nate Littlefield. He was about to throw that pizza in the trash.
I thought
in front of Kyle Ledbetter's face, in front of my face. He would rather, you didn't put it on this? I'd rather the dogs eat it. I'd rather the roaches eat it than to have you eat my pizza. I am speechless.
No, you're not. You just said like
Chris,
2.5 minutes worth of words.
I'm
You're
actually
not
surprised.
speechless.
I'm actually surprised, and I can say this because my wife is an only child. I'm actually surprised you're not an only child, Nate. That was a very only child type thing to do, man.
Okay. It's
I
not
can't
really
believe
your
this.
business.
I almost lost my mind when he was going to throw the pizza away.
Right in front of his face.
Yeah, I was like,
And I don't even
wait a
want it.
second.
I don't want. I
didn't either. I was like, I put it in the fridge. I don't know, do something.
I can't. How am I
It
going
was
to
triggering?
How am I going to do the rest of the
I
show?
know the chat's got my back here.
No,
The Snapchat, yes,
no.
they do.
No way.
I know they do.
There's no way.
I know for
Fair
a
or
fact.
foul?
There's
I
no.
know.
There's
If
no excuse
William
for
Lamas
throwing-
is still in the chat, tell him you got
There's
my
no
back.
excuse for throwing away pizza.
Fair or foul? Looking another man in the eye and throwing away untouched pizza for whatever reason. I don't know what the reason was. I just don't know.
We were done with it.
It was
I
the
guess.
Chiefs beating the Niners.
I don't know. Crazy.
It
On
was
a
pretty
day
crazy.
where Malik Monk is the new pizza. What is the opposite of the pizza guy? Because that's what we need to
man.
call Nate now.
The broccoli guy.
Ooh.
No, that's you actually, Alan.
Wow. It's not working today. It's done.
I'm hidden.
No, you're not.
I'm betting 1,000 back here.
I can't believe that.
Foul. Absolutely.
I
foul.
cannot, Chris. I'm tripping.
I
was
don't even
really
know who
crazy.
this is in the chat. We got someone new coming in. Where's our loyal fan base?
That's crazy. No offer. The no
Nothing.
offer was nuts.
No,
All right,
yeah.
we got to move on.
Yeah.
Prop talk. And Chris, I'm gonna give you my 2 winners for tonight. I already told you. It's the Lakers are gonna win. This is a classic situation for the Lakers. It's gonna be, and then tomorrow it's gonna be when we finally stop talking about the Cowboys because they're atrocious. All right. Now it's gonna be Lakers. Could they make some moves? You saw Bleacher Report had them as an 8 seed. Lakers are gonna win. And I just without Mikal Bridges having a jump shot, I think that the Knicks are still trying to figure things out. So I'm going to go with the Celtics. I'm going to go safe there. I'll give you your opportunity to say the picks, and then we'll do prop talk.
First and foremost, Frankie Cardicelli adds to the Kevin Huerter news. Mike Brown says that Kevin Huerter is, quote, close to being ready to play. He's waiting on the green light from the training staff. And here's where the real bomb gets dropped. This is from Frankie Cardicelli. Brown adds that if Huerter gets cleared,
don't.
He will likely start. Then in his next tweet, Frankie says if Huerter isn't ready for Thursday's season opener, Keon Ellis will, quote, likely start at the shooting guard spot.
I will say I'm really not mentally prepared to do the Kevin Huerter leash thing again because I just don't think it exists. But if he is the starter, Chris, the only way to kind of combat that is just me saying, I just hope he balls out. I just hope he balls out. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you ball out and then nobody has anything to complain about. The problem is Mike Brown kept waiting for him to do something, and he didn't. That's just what it was.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have a lot of pressure on him this year, and then now there's going to be two guys looking directly over his shoulder with Malik and Keon Ellis. I'm right there with you. I just hope he plays well, and I hope we don't have to have the leash conversation because I frankly don't know what it's going to be. I mean, it's going to be a long season if we have to have Kevin Huerter leash conversations and, should he get pulled? And then what happens to his psyche if he gets pulled? Also, I will say from the football front, Mike Evans expected to be out until after the team's week 11 bye.
Bucks are
because
done
of the hamstring.
So that's another NFC team that the Niners don't have to worry about. And they play the Niners.
They sure do.
That's a W.
That should be. And that's going to pretty much cripple them. I mean, likely out until week 12. At that point, I mean, that's a month from now. They're going to go a month without Godwin or Evans. It just feels like with that division already being so tight, doesn't look good for the Bucks. My prop talk selection, to move on to that, is going to be, I like to do these combos, and this one is staring me in the face. I think we read a list. No, actually,
picks too.
Yes. Oh, my actual game picks.
Your game picks as well.
I was getting the important thing out of the way. We're trying to get the cheese going. I'm going to go LeBron and Dante DiVincenzo over 4.5 threes. I just really like that number for both of them. I think LeBron is going to put him up, and Dante DiVincenzo in this new spot, he's definitely going to let it fly. I also like the Wolves in this game. I don't like the Lakers, more so because for the Kings' sake, I think it's going to be good if the Wolves are coming off a win. They're not hungry. They're not looking to get their season started right or anything like that. If they can start 0-1, feel good about themselves, and then maybe slip here in Sacramento 2 days later, I think that's just a mentally that makes me feel a little bit better about the Kings' chances. And then in the Celtics game, I am a little bit nervous because I've heard a lot of people in the past talk about how ring nights are super strange. Just the energy in the building. You go from this emotional high, banners, you're getting your rings, everybody's celebrating, to like 10 minutes later, you legitimately have to switch back into game mode. It's just a really weird flow. So I am a little bit cautious of that. But I just think the Celtics are going to be the best team in the league all year long, and it's going to start tonight. I'm going Celtics, and give me the Wolves.
Okay, my prop talk for today, Chris. You have me worried. A lot of people, I'm starting to do this thing where when everybody is on something, I'm just starting to avoid it. And
that's gambling 101. That's what they'll tell you.
So I kind of fell for it with the Anthony Davis 24 points. Again, if I'm going to pick Minnesota to win, Anthony Davis is going to have to play pretty darn well. He's dealing with Rudy Gobert. There's no more Karl Anthony Towns, even though Karl Anthony Towns is nothing to write home about defensively. But Anthony Davis really doesn't have to worry that much about Rudy Gobert. I guess I saw some numbers that Rudy Gobert actually plays the Lakers pretty well. But I feel good about Anthony Davis 24 points. The other one, if you don't want to go with Anthony Davis 24 points, I would go with Dante DiVincenzo 2.5 rebounds, the over. I feel like when guys are new, they're just trying to scrap around and show that they have value. I think the question mark is how much Dante plays. We're trying to figure out those rotations, but I think Dante DiVincenzo ends up with at least 3 rebounds. Those are my 2 plays if you want them, and there we go. Whitey Gleason joins us for the first time. Do we have to do prop talk? Because we're going to see Whitey a little bit later.
We're doing crosstalk later anyway.
But we're going to do it anyway. We got crosstalk coming up with Whitey Gleason, and we play a little game called Who He Play For. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
I'm Brian Tedesco, CEO of Blaupunk Americas, the pioneers of the car stereo. Today, we're not just about sound systems. We are revolutionizing the e-bike scene with Blue Dot Bike. Thanks to AmericanEagle.com, our online presence now features a dynamic e-commerce website that showcases the quality and affordability of our foldable e-bikes. And our collegiate e-bikes, just perfect for the college fanatic. These e-bikes offer a new way to experience freedom on 2 wheels, no matter your age. When we needed a top-notch website to match our cutting-edge e-bikes, we turned to AmericanEagle.com. They made the impossible seem easy, tackling digital challenges like pros. Check out the Blue Dot Bike website to see AmericanEagle.com's amazing work in action.
Need the best in website and digital marketing solutions? AmericanEagle.com is your go-to. They've been a game changer for us, and they can be for you too. Visit AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW-1. That's 877-WEB-NOW-1.
It's 4th and goal. The pressure's on. The home team needs this to win it. No matter what you're up against, it's always a win at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Special finance options and trade-in offers make it easier than ever to upgrade your ride. Because at Stockton Honda, we believe everyone deserves a winning deal.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. Sell on report.
For 76 years, the Keys family from Naturewood Home Furnishings has been serving families just like yours and mine. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings, most of which are made right here in this country. The kitchen table, which we purchased so many years ago, speaks to the enduring quality of the Naturewood product lines. We treasure memories made seated around that table with family and friends for birthday celebrations, school projects, and, well, many late-night meals when the day just got away from us. Naturewood has provided thousands with home furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their 76th anniversary sale and get started making your own brand of memories. Meet the Keys family at Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Don't you deserve healthcare you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans, made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
O'Reilly.
Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts in West Sacramento and Town Center Plaza next to Nugget Markets now through October 29th for the Customer Appreciation Day sale. You'll get 2 times O rewards points on select purchases. Plus, pick up 5 quarts of any Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil and receive a $10 gift card after rebate. And buy one, get one free Coca-Cola products at your Town Center Plaza, O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let's fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $67. Plumbing, sewer, electric, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-3555.
Sacktown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sacktown Sports and subscribe.
Whitey Gleason in the house.
Yeah. On the Pepsi can.
Yeah, on the Pepsi can. Whitey Gleason on the Pepsi can.
I gotta have my Pepsi can.
On a Pepsi can. He's a Scrooge of slices. He's a Scrooge of pizza slices. He's a Scrooge.
Sounded like a Will Smith rap right there.
That's right. What was it, the 80s
Dodger
or 90s? Sometimes I want to eat some pizza, but Nate throws it in the trash. He's a Scrooge of slices. Whitey, were you listening to that?
No. Like trying to throwing me a curveball.
No, I don't. Okay, so let me just, and I promise I won't spend a lot of time with this because we have a fun game to play.
I don't care. Go ahead.
No, I know you don't, but we want to get to the game, and I really just got to do this. So, long story short, I'll give you the Spark Notes version. Chris and Nate bought a pizza.
Mm-hmm.
3 healthy slices left. Mm-hmm. Okay, they've been munching all day.
This is today?
Today. Kyle Ledbetter is standing right there in the studio.
Yeah.
Kyle is.
Yeah.
I'm sitting right here.
Mm-hmm.
Nate comes in with the pizza.
It's been sitting for 2 hours.
When has that stopped anybody from eating pizza? Nate comes in with the pizza. Chris, you want any more pizza? Chris goes, no, I'm good. And I'm looking at Nate, door open, Whitey. He goes to throw the pizza away.
Whoa.
And Chris goes, whoa. What are you doing? And he says, I don't know what to do with it. He doesn't know what to do with it.
Why was he concerned about the pizza at all?
Why was Alan concerned?
Great concern.
No. Yeah.
I'm a little confused.
Thank you, Whitey.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
I bet if it was me, Whitey'd be all over this. All right, let's get to the game.
I love Whitey Gleason so much.
Don't worry. No. Just wait till Dave
tried
gets
to
back.
slam dunk me and you airballed.
No, just wait till Dave gets back.
I don't care what Dave does.
Okay.
Dave's never coming back.
That is true.
Okay.
No one ever told anyone. He's just gone. He's in England.
All right.
Across
In
the
the air.
pond.
All right, Nate.
Trey Lyles also full participant today.
Trey
Let's
Lyles,
go.
full participant. Tomorrow, we will have a lot of conversation about Kevin Huerter, who will likely start. So
Kevin Huerter.
the answer has. Thank you, Patrick Beverly. The answer has come out. Either Kevin Huerter has done enough throughout his time in Sacramento to keep his starting spot, or Keon Ellis didn't do enough. We will discuss that tomorrow, and Whitey Gleason, Cal Draper probably discuss it today. All right, Nate, it's time for who we play for.
Now, you guys didn't see any of these, correct?
I have
Right.
not.
Correct.
I got
No.
this list
Correct.
sent to me by, I believe, Chris?
Yes.
Yes. So we'll start with, I don't know how easy this one is, but Mo Bamba. Who he play for? Would it help if I told you his old team, too?
Possibly.
Let's try to do without, and then if you guys are struggling, I can tell you his old team.
I know. Okay, well, I know he was on the Sixers,
That would have been my guess for his previous.
but I'm assuming he's not still on. Because if you,
Hmm.
oh, you know what? I think that Land of Misfits Toys, is he on the Clippers?
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking Clippers.
I was going to say Suns.
Ooh, that's another good guess. It's one or the other.
It is the Clippers. Congrats.
Cool. Yes,
Nice,
it was
nice.
one or the other. Both of those teams just collect those.
Malik Beasley. Where's he at?
He was.
Where
with
was
the
he
Bucks.
last year?
Wasn't he with the Bucks?
I'll say he's still in the East.
Okay, that's helpful.
The Kings lost to this team last year.
The Pistons.
So what is it?
Let's see.
It's
here.
the Pistons.
Oh my gosh.
No, they did, because they did do some weird stuff. The Pistons. They got.
That's such a
They
weird
got
spot for
obviously
him.
Kate Cunningham, and then they went out and got Tobias Harris. So yeah,
I'm the only one who thinks Cade Cunningham's going to be good this year.
No, probably not. I don't think
we
so.
just went over all the 2021 guys who got paid.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were just kind of talking. I just think he hasn't really. So, like, do you think it's going to relate to team success, or you just think he's going to play well this
I think he's going to be healthy, and they're going to actually try.
Yeah.
And he's going to do a lot better, and they're going to be better, but not very good yet.
Yeah. Do you still believe in him as a one, like as the best player on a
Yeah.
we'll just say on a playoff team,
Maybe,
like
yeah,
a championship team. So
Yeah.
I think so
I mean,
too.
yeah.
I think it can happen. Yeah, it's just when you're put in that trash of a situation.
I think that people just got to watch him. I don't even know how much unless my buddy's got prop talk on him. I mean, what am I watching the Pistons for?
Just to beat the Kings. That's
Yeah.
it. And he
Yeah.
didn't even play that game.
No. All right, Nate.
So next one, not our bogey. Well, he's not our bogey anymore, but Bojan Bogdanovic. Where's he at?
Who
he
that was on
play
the
for?
Knicks?
He was with the Knicks, and then he ended up.
He
where did
was on
end
the
up?
Knicks. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's wearing number 44 this season.
Great.
I know that helps.
I want to say he returned to. I'm
still in
pretty
the
sure
East?
he. Okay,
I'm
then
going
that
to say
answer-
Charlotte. I don't
I'm-
think that's right, but I'm going.
I'm going to say Brooklyn.
Alan?
I'm going to say he is in Toronto.
Chris is Fuego. Brooklyn.
What are they doing out there?
All right. Malcolm
Superfly.
Brogdon.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is an easy one.
He's still. No, he's not. Is
No,
he
he's
Portland?
with he's with the Wizards.
He was in
Oh,
Portland.
that's right.
Yeah, he got traded
That's
with,
right.
with that
That's right.
bizarre
With the Denny trade.
Yeah,
That's
the
right.
bizarre trade.
That's right.
By the way, getting back to the Nets, what's
Yes.
up with Bridges' jump shot?
He's cooked.
What happened?
He said it's been like that for
don't
7
get it.
years, but that's not true.
That is not true at all. I feel like last year if his jump shot would have looked like that last year, I think we would have noticed. Like he's standing straight up and he looks stiff. Like somebody's getting fired.
It's like
That's
Kyle
all I know.
Anderson.
And I don't know if you saw Chet Holmgren change his jump shot too. It's a lot more of like a one-handed release.
Why?
I don't know what's up with these guys. Maybe this is like what's wrong with the personal trainerification of NBA, but like I don't know what's going on with these guys who can already shoot, changing their jump shot.
Well, which Chet was at what? Probably I would say 1.5 a game. Maybe he just feels like with his physique, he wants to be higher than that. But he definitely can.
He's
shoot.
always been a shooter.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
3X Kings. We're going 3X Kings
Ooh.
back to back to back. Ready?
Okay.
The first one, I forget if he played a whole 1.5 season. Alec Burks.
Oh,
Who
I
he
think that was a
play for?
half season.
Was it a half or one and a
That
half?
guy's a bucket.
It's like he
man.
was good everywhere except here, right?
Except
Yeah,
for
that
here,
guy's a bucket.
I thought he was
legitimately.
okay here, right? Like he wasn't.
I
It was a
really
bad
think he
team.
played like
Yeah.
3
That guy
games
is a
with the
bucket
Kings.
and a half.
He is, and that's all he does. Like even when he came in for the Knicks, like Tibbs
Yeah.
was just like, go score. Like I don't, and he didn't play him because of defense. But let's see, Alec Burks.
So he's no way he's still on the Knicks.
not on the Knicks.
He was on Detroit.
Right.
Alec
That was-
Burks. The Mavericks. I don't know.
Alan said he's a bucket, so I'm going to say he's a buck.
There you go.
I'm going to go with I just feel like the Magic needed scoring, so maybe the Magic got him.
Florida, Miami Heat.
Ah,
Next king,
That kind of works for him.
Yeah.
Chris Duarte.
Oh my.
Oh,
well, he's a bull, right?
Yeah.
He's a bull.
Is he
was
still a
king.
bull? Okay.
Yeah. Next king, this one's a 3-point splash. Buddy Hield.
Well,
The Warriors.
Yeah.
yeah.
And Joe Ingles.
ooh. Jingles. I want to say he was in Orlando last year.
But then he was somewhere else.
I think he's with the Perth Wallaroos.
Oh, speaking of Chris, you had that Boogie Ellis news.
Oh yeah, Boogie Ellis also has signed with Maccabi Tel Aviv.
Yes.
So he will not play in the G League. A lot of people concerned that maybe another NBA team is going to pick him up. This is from, let me see what the source is. It's one of those overseas sites, Sportal. Maccabi Tel Aviv in talks.
Ooh, okay.
with Boogie Ellis.
Not a done deal yet.
I don't believe
he's
so. Not that
he's
I'm
gonna
seeing,
dethrone Patrick Beverly out there.
right.
When in
that's the
doubt,
only other
I'm going
thing.
Charlotte.
Yes.
Okay.
It was. I'm sorry. Who was it? It was
Joe Ingles.
Joe
Ingles.
Ingles. Jingles. I feel like I saw him. Kings played him in preseason. I want to say. Who did they play? Rockets. I don't know.
Yeah.
They didn't play. The Rockets.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's on the Spurs.
Ooh, he's
gonna
on
play
the
for-
team the Kings play opening night.
Oh,
Minnesota
really?
Timberwolves. Yes.
That tracks.
I'd like to add to Alec Burks played 13 games with the Sacramento Kings. It was
we
a half
go.
season. Chris was right.
Yes, yeah.
Average just under 10 minutes and 1.7 points per game.
Yeah.
You're right. He was pretty good.
Yeah. Another king, Corey Joseph.
Oh my gosh.
He was a
Ugh.
Warrior last year.
Yeah.
Was he? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
No,
I thought that
here's
was
a
2 years
guy.
ago.
Maybe I'm mixing up Burks and Garrett.
Oh,
Temple.
I know.
Kojo. I have no idea where Kojo is.
San Diego Conquistadors.
I
the
will
Mexico
say
City Capitanes.
The team is sponsored by Disney.
Oh,
Oh,
the
well,
Magic.
The Magic.
Yeah. Another
Do you know the point of this
team
game?
Another
rhymes
player-
with Lux.
another player from down under, Patty Mills, and this will be our last
Oh, we
one.
I
just
saw
saw
him.
him.
Yes.
Where?
Is it
I didn't see him.
Portland or Kings
No,
just
no,
played
the
him?
Kings
just played
lost.
Portland.
Yeah.
Our company has a station here.
Oh yeah. He's on the Utah.
We
Jazz.
gotta go.
Yeah, we just saw.
He's on the Utah Jazz.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we just
yeah.
saw Patty Mills. Yeah.
I still don't think you understand the point of this game. All right. Thanks for listening to Stiles and Watkins. Congrats to the winner. Thanks to all the callers, texters, sack chatters. You have the drive
See you guys
guys
in a little bit.
up next. Yes, Whitey Gleason, Kyle Draper, and Kyle Ledbetter. Great job by Nate, at least half of
Was
the
it?
way. Yeah, I just kind of say that. It's muscle memory. We'll be back in a couple hours, but until then, don't go anywhere. Drive, guys. Coming up next. Until tomorrow, secure the bag.
Run the beam.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sacktown